Hello, and welcome to another episode of Visual Novelty with your host, Dom. We are going to be continuing with A Mermaid's Curse. I know I missed last week, so it's been like 2 weeks now since we played it. So we got some thinking to do to try to remember where we were at. So I'm going to do a recap here real quick before we get started, as is tradition. All right, let's see. Last week, I believe we started with, the week before last week, we had finished the Tragedy of Kamishima ending. So the first and worst ending. So then last week, we had started on what was unlocked after that, which was the Vision of the Future and Accepted Fate. So Accepted Fate is after the Tragedy of Kamishima, where basically all of Yuza's friends die. Apparently Yuza came back to life because he's immortal, and even though he got his head chopped off, and he learned about Azumi dying, Tsukasa dying, and Sato, I guess he doesn't know where Sato is, I think, because he doesn't know that Kikuko took her or whatever, and he's being like taken away by the paranormal investigation people, Yumiko. So she's like standing in the background with Sato, I always forget his name every time. And the psychic guy, and they're gonna like take him away because he's an immortal, and he's like a new immortal. He must be, because you know he's been aging up until recently, and so that's where that one ends. So it's kind of like just a falling action, if you will, from the Tragedy of Kamishima. But then if we go back here to Vision of the Future, we have this version of events where after Yuza tells Azumi about the Tomokazuki, he becomes all strange with Azumi, and he's like, hey man, so I know that Kikuko's gonna murder a bunch of people and I have to stop her. And Azumi's like, what are you talking about? And Yuza's like, well, I can't really prove it to you right away, but I'm gonna try my best to prove it to you, because I understand that you're only gonna believe me if I can prove it, but I need you to just trust me right now. So they go over and they talk to Kikuko, and Yuza's trying to be all chill about it or whatever, asks her about the mirrors and who she's given them to, and then like what her ties to the mainland, and if she plans on staying an Ama diver forever or whatever. And just kind of has sort of like a semi-casual conversation where he's already changed the timeline, so things are already going to be a little bit different from where they were before, but not in any honestly obviously significant way to me. But essentially it's more like, I think, introducing the idea that like Yuza saw everything we saw. So like everything that we saw on that timeline for the Tragedy of Kamishima, Yuza, he saw that in like a vision somehow, I guess, when he was like touching the Tomokazuki or whatever. Like it gave him like this information. That's how I interpret it anyways. I'm not sure exactly how it works. So yeah, that's pretty much all we got with that. And then that unlocked some more stuff with Arnav and Yumiko. I think we started with Arnav. Yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure it was Arnav. And so Arnav is on Kamishima, and he was trying to talk to everybody about Yuza's mother and mermaids in general, I guess, but mostly trying to find out about Yuza's mom. What was her name? Made, I think. Made Minakuchi. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And nobody wants to talk to him about her, and they all get weird when he brings her up, and he's like, what the hell's wrong with people? Why the hell are they acting all weird about it? And then he finally sees Kikuko, and him and Cersei go up and talk to her, and she seems more, welcoming to talking about this stuff. She's not as superstitious about it or whatever. But in their conversation, they discover that she also knows, what's his name? Let me look at the profiles really quick. He's in here somewhere. The businessman, Kipe Ikoma. She also knows Kipe Ikoma, and because she like worked for him when she was on the mainland, and she actually like really likes him, I think. Like she thinks that he really helped her out and everything like that, and he is interested in mermaids and Itami tobacco, and he convinces her. Okay, so we kind of end up learning that Kikuko she's like the illegitimate daughter of that rich businessman, Yoshiatsu Yamashina, and so she wants to be acknowledged by him because she thinks she deserves like this life of being rich because she's the daughter of this rich man, and she thinks it's kind of like not fair that she doesn't get all the benefits from being his daughter. And so Kipe is trying to like, because Kipe is the like, what would you say, like protege or whatever, or like underling or something. I'm not sure exactly what the relationship is, but he like works for Yoshiatsu because he's been like a mentor to people. So I guess he's sort of like the mentor to Kipe. Maybe that's the way to say it. And so Kipe is like, okay, so I know a little bit about him, and I think the one thing, because he's so obsessed with immortality, what you need to do, Kikuko, is like get him a mermaid flesh or something, like get him something related to immortality or whatever. And so that's sort of what Kikuko is doing. We kind of realize that's like her motive to take Sato, is because Sato is an immortal, and so she's gonna help them, like help her get acknowledged by her father by taking her to him. And I think she was ordered by Ikoma to do that, maybe something like that. I think that's an assumption I have. So yeah, so they kind of learn that they're connected through that, where Arnav knows that guy because he helped Arnav get the Tame Tobacco, the little box that is like a little portal to Ryugu. And while we're talking to her, we end up like kind of pulling the box out for a second, because you can just kind of look at it, and she's like, oh, is that the Tame Tobacco? And he's like, whoa, you know about the Tame Tobacco? And she's like, yeah. And then she gets all like weird about it, because you can tell she really wants it. And then I think it was either after that or before that, she tries to give Arnav the mirror. I think it's before that. She's just like, because oh yeah, that's right. Arnav was like, hey, and we're on this island looking for this mirror. Can you help us find it? She's like, oh, you want a mirror? Like, I got these mirrors right here. You want one? And because I knew that would let her trigger her curse, I was like, no, Arnav's definitely not taking one. So he's like, no, I'm good. And then she's like, are you sure? He's like, no, I definitely don't want one. Leave me alone about it. And then when she sees the Tame Tobacco and gets all weird about it, oh god, what happens? She gets aggressive, and we find out, I'm trying to remember how, but we find out she has, oh, actually, maybe I think it's Cersei. Cersei realizes that there's a curse energy coming from her. So she's like, oh shit, this girl's got a curse stone, and she might try to use it on Arnav. And so she like warns Arnav about that. And in that conversation, you also can look at your business card that you got from Ikoma, and if you don't throw it away, like Kikuko realizes you haven't. She's like, oh, you have a business card? Well, that's great. And then she tries to use a curse on you, because we find out that her curse is triggered by simply having a certain symbol on a person. Like, as long as it's on their person and they have possession of the symbol, then she can use her curse stone on it. And that symbol is both on the mirrors that she hands out and on Ikoma's business card. So as long as we threw away the business card, because I tried it both ways, I didn't throw the business card away at first. She tries to use the curse on you, and then Cersei like holds her back using her powers, but then she's like, you got to do something, because if I can only hold this back for so long, or it's going to kill us. And so what Arnav does is pushes Kikuko into the water, and then uses his curse stone on her and kills her. Turns her into a fish, and like she dies immediately. And then right after that, behind them is Yumiko and Shiki. She's in Sato or whatever his name is. Then she wants to talk to him. Or you can throw away the business card, and then she's like, I can't use my curse on you. Oh no. And then we're like, we know you have a curse, so we're going to use our curse stone on you if you don't give us your curse stone. And we kind of like get her curse stone away from her. So there's two ways to get it away from her. You can keep her alive, or you can kill her. And I, right now, am at the point where I've kept her alive. And that was all in possessions. And for some reason, it's not darkened yet. So there's something else we can do there, I guess. So maybe it's because I could go back and have her kill Arnav, I guess. That's probably a timeline, I suppose, because I didn't ever take the mirror or whatever. Because I think if you take the mirror, I assume she must kill you. I don't know. Because either way, Cersei should be able to use her powers to like delay her, I guess. And it seems like you're not allowed to not kill her. I don't know. There's something about there, though, that we can still do because it's not grayed out. And that's all I know. But then, okay, so after we do that, that unlocked a couple more for Yumiko. So Yumiko remembers some stuff about the mermaids randomly, because I guess we kind of tell her about it. And she's like, you know, we need to go back to Kamishima, to Sado. I know there's more details there, but I'm forgetting a little bit of the importance of it. I think it's because of Somikawa. So there was that lady who was the sister of Made, Yuza's mother, and she had Arnav kill her using his curse because she wanted to be a mermaid so bad. And I think they're investigating that, and she comes to the conclusion that they need to go back to Kamishima because she thinks that the person who was in the boat with Somikawa last time she was seen would have gone to Kamishima. And so they end up going back to Kamishima, and they find Arnav, and that's in Possessions. That's where the connection happens. So then we go to Obsession, and that is Yumiko kind of interrogating them about the curse stones and like why they're there, and mermaids and stuff. And because she can tell, because she's got like, you know, Sado with her, and she has some paranormal aptitude as well, she can tell that they have curse stones. And so I think they end up getting both curse stones from them and like confiscating them from them. And it's kind of like they do this trade where Yumiko's like, well, what if I can tell you more about mermaids? And because she confirms that there is still one mermaid that hasn't gone back to Ryugu, and that this mermaid has found a way to have legs, to like replace her tail with legs, and she's like out there somewhere married to somebody or something like that. And then we kind of find out, I mean, through like Arnav doesn't find out, but we as the audience find out that she actually is that mermaid, and she married this Onimoji guy because she like fell in love with him as a mermaid, and then they like went through and he found out a way to give her legs, but he had to sacrifice himself. So he's actually turned into, I think, a dog. Like his soul is inside this dog or something, and so she's actually married to this dog. But it's actually was this Onimoji guy, and his protege is Sado or whatever. So I guess that's why she's with Sado all the time, because he's an actual human or whatever and can work for the paranormal agency. And yeah, so that's also why she's obsessed with being like a housewife, because she's always wanted to have that kind of life, and so she kind of tries to live that way, even though her husband's like a dog, I guess. Let me see. Let me get that. Make sure that detail is correct. Well, I thought it was pretty cool, but she doesn't like admit that to Arnav. That's something that we as the audience know. Yumiko. I want to make sure. Yeah, she was Nagami was her name, yeah. Yumiko was formerly a mermaid by the name of Nagami. Unlike her more serious compatriots, Hayase and Sobe, Nagami was free-spirited by nature and held a keen interest in both humans and the mortal world. She was even known to break the rules to sneak out and observe human society, something which often put her at odds with the other two mermaids and led to her being viewed as something of a maverick. Alright, anyways, blah, blah, blah. About 50 years ago, Nagami met a certain talented psychic in Japan. The two quickly fell in love, and Nagami, who by that point had begun to earnestly wish that she could give up being a mermaid and live among humans in the mortal world, asked him whether there was any way that she could become human. I wanted to fulfill her wish. She began to search for a lost secret. Let's see. I just want to get to the part where I think he's a dog. Two agonizing other decisions. Despite their decades-long search, the different worlds in which they lived continued to keep them apart. As a mermaid, Nagami could neither join him on land nor appear before others. In the end, the two chose to use the secret art so they could be together in the mortal world, even when Nagami learned that the psychic Itensei Shiki only appeared young due to his supernatural abilities, having been born in the Edo period and already over 100 years old by that time. She loved him no less. Okay, I forgot about that. So he's actually like a super ancient guy too. Become Itensei Shiki's wife, Yumiko Shiki, a name given to her by Itensei himself. Although the process of gaining human body meant she lost many of the memories and abilities she had possessed during her time as a mermaid. Right, that's why she was remembering stuff about mermaids before she came back to Kamishima. She retained all the memories and feelings from her time spent with that's where it talks about him turning into a dog or whatever it was. Okay, however, the human body she has gained still differs from those regular humans, although she appears to age slowly compared to those around her is entirely unknown. Oh, it must have been up here then. Wait. Yumiko has enjoyed a fulfilling life with her human nature and her relationship with Tensei, bringing her immense joy. Because of this, she's insistent on her primary identity being that of a housewife. I swore they said he turned into a dog or something. Maybe I'm pulling that out of my butt. I don't... It's not saying it here. Was there like a profile just for him? It doesn't look like it. Here's it kind of talks about here. However, the secret art that would grant Nagami her wish demanded a heavy price. For a mermaid, a being who lacked a mortal form in the material world, to gain a human body, the catcher's own body would have to be sacrificed. Using this art would render them both unable to live side by side as humans, and they had so long to do. Maybe it was just in a conversation they talk about it, because like he gives up his body so that she can have her body. But then he has to go somewhere, so I think he went into a dog. I want to say it was a dog. I guess it doesn't say here. Okay, either way, I'm obsessing over it too much. I wanted to make sure I got that right, because that's a crazy thing to happen. All right, anyway. So yeah, she tells Arnav about basically her, but not saying that she is the mermaid. But she's like, yeah, there still is a mermaid out there. You can still meet a mermaid. And little does he know, he's already met one. He's talking to one. And that's good enough for Arnav. And so he gives her the curse stone. But I don't think he gives her the Tama Tobacco. I don't even think she knows that he has the Tama Tobacco. I don't remember that being a part of the conversation. I think it was just the curse stone. And that Kikuko had one, and that we got it from her. And so maybe they're going to go do something with Kikuko as well. Maybe they'll do some paranormal police stuff with her. I believe that's where we left off. I think that's where we're at. And in the conversation, they begin to get suspicious about Kipe Ikoma and Yoshiatsu Yamashina's secret movements. Yeah, I guess they talked about that as well. Ikoma. So I guess now Yumiko probably knows about Ikoma. Yeah, they did talk, because she's like, oh, Yamashina, because like we already talked as Yumiko to Yamashina. So, but now she knows that the Ikoma connection, and oh yeah, the weird thing about that. Right. That Kipe Ikoma is actually a dead guy. I think it's in Files gameplay guide for some reason. Yeah, here we go. This guy is Kipe Ikoma. The testimonies indicate that the individual in this sketch resembles a youth by the name of Kipe Ikoma, who went missing 6 years ago. He has no known relatives. So this guy, this Ikoma guy that we know, is like just using this guy's identity. So he must have like killed him and took his life, I guess, or something. The victims are believed to have been killed by a curse wielded by someone connected to the Heike. So, yeah. So he's a pretty mysterious guy, so we still gotta learn more about him. But I think that pretty much covers all the main parts from last time, so I think we're ready to continue. We only got one thing to continue on, unless we want to, I guess, get Arnav killed. Point of contact with Sato, and I don't remember the context here. From Unkakudono, I always get that, I have to say that slowly. From Unkakudono to the Curse of the Raging Waves, Sato and Tsukasa run around the island searching for answers to the mountain of problems before them. So I'm guessing now it's going to be different, because she must run into like Arnav or something. Because that's kind of the big difference here, is now Arnav is on Kamishima and talking to people. And so, I don't know. It's interesting because Arnav was already on Kamishima at one point, but the story didn't let him do anything. Because obviously he talked to Yuza, because there's at one point where Yuza talks to him at the lighthouse and uses timeline in the original timeline. But now things are going to be a little bit different, because this time, instead of going to the lighthouse and Kikuko sending Yuza to the lighthouse, Kikuko actually talked to him herself, and now she's been locked away, essentially, because she's a freaking murderer. So, yeah, the timeline's already different, so maybe Sato's going to run into Arnav. We'll see. It does say point of contact, so obviously she's going to contact somebody. Alright, let's get started. Let's find out what happens. Let's think back to what has happened. Is this a storyteller? After calming down Tsukasa, who had the wrong idea after seeing me with... Oh, this is Sato saying this. Okay, so I'll use her voice. After calming down Tsukasa, who had the wrong idea after seeing me with Shotaro by the beach... I explained at the Kantekisho ruins that I was immortal, and that Mr. Wakamura was planning to hand me over to someone called Ukaku Dono. The two of us searched for a way to stop the curse of the raging waves. We also stopped by the Wakamura home to apologize to Shotaro, but no one was there. After that, we met with Tsuyu, and I learned about who Mare Minakuchi truly was, as well as how the curse of the raging waves has been kept at bay by the bronze mirrors she left behind. What's up, Loki? You need something, Bob? Oh, shoot, I guess I might have to take him for another walk. It probably has been a few hours. We'll at least get going here, get past this part. We also ran into Azumi. He looked desperate, saying the Kameshimaru hand mirror that Kikuko had been given was dangerous, and he was going around collecting them. Oh, okay, interesting. So we're kind of brushing past that. So Azumi's now been collecting all the mirrors that she handed out, so nobody's gonna have that symbol. It doesn't really matter though, because we've taken her curse stone away from her, so it's kind of a redundant thing though. I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe there's another curse stone. I'm pretty sure there's only one curse stone. And Yukoma gave it to Kikuko. Tsukasa and I handed ours over to him too. Then after that, August 7th. I guess this is when she runs into somebody. Either Yumiko again or Arnav, I'm assuming. Can't find Mr. Wakamura anywhere. We need to tell him about the bronze mirror as soon as possible. Yeah. Oh. Oh, okay, it's Yumiko again. It's those two. Oh, yeah. They're the ones who were looking for the old man's place. Excuse me. You know, this is before or after they, like, interrogated Sato, or maybe that was the other timeline. Because at one point they interrogated her about being an immortal, because Yumiko can tell just by looking at her, because she's got the crazy eyes. I guess they're the mermaid eyes. Because she would know an immortal, I guess, because she's a mermaid, and one of the powers she's kept is that she can see that people are immortal, I guess. Let's see that they're cursed. Oh, if it isn't Sato, good timing. I've got something to discuss if you don't mind. Oh, right. I actually have something to ask myself. Huh? Since when did you get to know each other? Oh, right. We actually talked a bit after the last time we met. These two are from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. They're here to lift the curse of the raging waves. Wait, seriously? Since when does the police deal with curses? We're in a special unit dedicated to things like this. I hope we can be of help. Gotta look for one of those birds. Oh, there it is. Found it. Mockingbird. He's got a little helmet on. That's pretty fun. You end up passing through this intersection no matter where you go on the island. A narrow path with a gentle breeze. It makes for a nice, peaceful afternoon. Huh? I swear I just saw something catch the light behind me for a second. Behind her? Something caught the light behind her? That must come up later. Because it's still not finishing the surroundings thing. There's a well. There's an old well here. These days, most houses have running water, so it isn't used anymore. In the story that Tsuyu told us earlier, the bronze mirror was apparently found at the bottom of this very well. I can't even imagine how Mare managed to find it here.
That's some real tenacity.
Oh, a keychain.
Ah! Sato, something wrong? Oh, no, it's just that there's a Kamashimaru keychain laying on the ground here. Ah, you're right. Who just chucked the poor thing out here? Yeah, I almost missed it. I'll rescue it.
That's the one she gives to Yuza later, right? Because they're like both trying to clear their minds on the at the ruins or whatever. Maybe that was the other timeline, and then she like tries to bribe him by giving him some like super ancient Japanese currency and the keychain, and then she says she found it on the ground. So I guess this was her finding it on the ground. Okay, yeah, that was the shiny thing. Okay, so we got surroundings done now. Anything else to look at? Town clock. Can't even read it. It's so freaking foggy, dude.
That's the town clock, which is sort of a symbol of this street. Standing quietly at the town center, its gentle ticking marks the years as it watches over people's lives. She seems like she's accepting it, but even Tsukasa probably didn't get everything from that quick explanation. Can't blame her, though. I still don't fully understand it myself.
I guess she's talking about her being immortal?
But why is she dressed like a housewife? She doesn't look like police at all.
Soto, that's his name. I always forget. Soto.
That clock must be so hot.
That cloak, my bad. I just was reading the clock.
That cloak must be so hot. How does he stay so calm and collected?
Let's talk to Tsukasa first.
You spoke with him yesterday, Sato? Yeah, they're specialists from a special unit called the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. They even saw right through me. Wait, you mean they figured out you're an immortal? Yep, first time anyone's managed that. Wow, I guess real professionals can't figure or can figure things like that out.
Totally butchered that. Alright, let's think.
If we really want to do something about the Curse of the Raging Waves, maybe we can rely on these two. Although honestly, they do scare me a little.
Let's just go ahead and talk to Yumiko.
Mind if I start from my side then? Oh, not at all. The good news is we figured out how to lift the Curse of the Raging Waves. Really? You have? Whoa, seriously? That's huge. The bad news is that we need a few things to do it. We're in the middle of tracking them down. If that's the case, let's help you. Or let us help you. Yeah, what do you need? Well, the first is called the Still Tide Mirror, a mirror used to hold back the Curse of the Raging Waves. I know it. We know where that is. At least, I think we do. You do? We just heard about it from Tsuyu Minakuchi. I see. 5 years ago, Made Minakuchi tried to break the curse with that mirror, but failed. That explains why people blamed her for the Southern Sea disaster. If that mirror from back then is still here, then it is very likely to be the Still Tide Mirror. Yes, that was what I wanted to talk to you about too. I see, thank you. Sounds like the pieces are coming together.
Nice, let's have a little think.
But they did manage to track down the way to lift the Curse of the Raging Waves. That's pretty impressive.
I swear I know how to read, dude. I'm just having a hard time today.
But there is still one more piece we need, a descendant of the Taishima people. Which likely means Made Minakuchi's son. Yuzu Minakuchi would be our best candidate. Yeah, that should work. Do you know where he is now? Not sure. We've been looking too since we wanted to pass along that Tsuyu told us.
Or what Tsuyu told us.
Alright, we'll go search for him. Really? That would be a huge help. We'll go and secure the mirror.
Time is tight. If we split up, we need a point of contact in case we can't find each other. Could one of you stay in one place and handle communications between us?
Good plan. Could one of you take that on? A point of contact? It'd be best if it was...
I guess I only get to pick Tsukasa.
I'll go look for Yuza. Tsukasa, do you mind being the point of contact? Me? Sure, no problem. Let's see then. I'll wait by the community hall in Chuo Street. There's also a phone there we could use. Okay, we'll make contact there if anything happens. Thank you. That will be a big help. Alright, then we'll retrieve the bronze mirror first, then track down Yuza Minakuchi and work on lifting the curse. Okay then, Sato, good luck. If you find Yuza, please tell him everything that Tsuyu told us. I will. Leave it to me.
Okay, that was like everything that happened in that was positive, so that's cool. Okay, it looks like Yuza crosses paths with them to the sanctuary and claim. Okay, claim is what I'm gonna do next because it looks like it happens before they run it. Because this is probably her finding Yuza, I guess. Because then it looks like Yuza obviously is a part of that because it's his timeline. Oh man, I've almost got them all. Like 6 left. Nice. This one's question mark. We're not sure about these two. Alright, claim. Summary of previous events. Sato entrusts Tsukasa with being the point of contact while she goes in search for Yuza Minakuchi.
After that, I met with Yuza and told him what I heard about Suyu, sorry. What I heard from Tsuyu and Miss Shiki, that we needed him to come to the community hall to lift the curse of the raging waves.
Yeah, things are happening so fast.
But after that, I headed somewhere else. This time, for my own purpose.
And where would that be? The Minakuchi residence or the lighthouse? Why would she go to the Minakuchi residence? I'm gonna go with the lighthouse. Let's start there. There it is, Arnav and Cersei.
Oh, there they are.
Is there another bird sticker? I guess not.
Okay, let's think about what I need to do now. These two have a special box called Atomic Tobacco. I need to get it from them, no matter what. I have to find a way to convince them to hand it over. This is the only chance I'm going to get. I'll share what I know bit by bit to hook their interest and negotiate from there. Really not sure I can pull this off, but I have to try. There's a small lookout plaza in front of the lighthouse where you can see the sea, probably meant for tourists. Come to think of it, I've never really come here all that much.
So she can still continue to think. What about this think?
They must have their own reasons for finding the atomic tobacco. If I can get them to give it that up, maybe they'll hand it over to me without too much fuss. What's the best way to approach this?
Okay, same thought. I think we're ready to call out.
Excuse me.
You rang?
Yes. Could I speak with you for a moment?
I don't even know what she said. It was so fast. Permission granted.
Oh, thank you. Oh, don't mind him. He always gets a little carried away. Right. So you're Avi, an author, and Cersei here is your guide?
Indeed. Great to meet you, Sato.
I've actually heard talk about you from around the island.
Oh, really? It would seem we've become quite famous in these parts.
I'd say we're more on the infamous side, but sure.
Okay, same thought.
Now that I think about it, this is my first time meeting someone from overseas. They do feel different somehow, but I can't quite put it into words. Wow, her blonde hair is so beautiful. I've never seen it in person before. And her outfit also looks so unusual. Maybe it's traditional clothing from her country.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. It's definitely unusual. I think it's because she's a psychic.
I heard you were searching for a mermaid. Is that true?
Oh, tell me, young lady, do you perchance know a mermaid? Because if so, you must tell.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know anything about any specific mermaid. Oh, please don't look so disappointed. I feel bad now. You see, I'm rather interested in mermaids, so I was hoping I could ask you a little more about them. Now you look both disappointed and annoyed. Did I say something wrong? Well, the last person who asked the same thing nearly cursed us to death. What?
Indeed. The people on this island are nothing but trouble. I've had enough of it. You are the same, aren't you? You're just after immortality like everyone else. Admit it.
Well, I need to steer the conversation toward Tommy Tobacco. What should I say?
Admit or deny. I mean, the truth would be deny. She's not trying to get immortality. She is immortal. Do I admit that she's immortal? Is that what we're admitting? I think we're admitting whether or not we're looking for immortality. And it just depends on what these actually mean. Now I'm confusing myself. Are we admitting that we are immortal? I wish I knew more of the context of these choices. You steer the conversation toward the Tommy Tobacco. What should I say? I'm gonna admit and see if she's admitting that she's immortal.
Yes, I must become immortal. Everything depends on it.
Damn, okay, so she's lying now. Damn it. Lying is probably not a good option.
If you know anything, I sincerely ask you tell me.
Ha! There it is! Your true colors, I knew it! You think I'd just hand over the Tommy Tobacco I struggled so hard to obtain? Tommy Tobacco? Please, I need it. I guess I'll say Tommy Tobacco, question mark?
Oh, so you really have the Tommy Tobacco?
Huh? What's that? I have never heard of this Tommy Tobacco.
But you just said you wouldn't hand it over to me.
No. You are mishearing things, young lady. I have no idea what you speak.
Please, I really need it.
Alas, young lady, our research has made one thing clear. Trying to meet a mermaid in this place is futile. You see, that's why we decided to give up on the Issei Bay mermaids, take in the sights of Kamishima, and head home. There are mermaid legends scattered all across the world. We have all the time in the world to begin the search anew.
Oh, so it really is that hopeless.
Plus, we can't linger on this island much longer anyway. Cersei's condition and duties are also starting to be an issue, you see. So we must be taking our leave here.
Hold on.
God damn, I fucked that up. I'm pretty sure we need to get to Tommy Tobacco.
They left. Damn. That was no good.
Okay, well, we really screwed that one up. Try that again. Resume. Start from the lighthouse, I would say. I knew deny was probably the best thing to go with.
Let's go over the plan in my head one more time.
Okay.
Okay, let's think about what I need to do now. These two have a special box called a Tommy Tobacco. I need to get it from them no matter what. I have to find a way to convince them to hand it over. This is the only chance I'm going to get. I'll share what I know bit by bit to hook their interest and negotiate them from there. Really not sure I can pull this off, but I have to try. Excuse me.
You ring?
Ah, yes, can I speak with you for a moment?
Permission granted.
Thank you. Oh, don't mind him. He's always gets a little carried away. Right. So you're Avi, an author, and Cersei here is your guide.
Indeed. Great to meet you, Sato.
I've actually heard talk about you around the island.
Oh, really? It would seem we've become quite famous in these parts.
I'd say we're more on the infamous side, but sure. I heard you were searching for a mermaid, is that true?
Oh, tell me, young lady, do you perchance know of a mermaid? Because if so, you must tell.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know anything about any specific mermaid. Oh, please don't look so disappointed, I feel bad now. You see, I'm rather interested in mermaids, so I was hoping I could ask you a little more about them. Now you look both disappointed and annoyed. Did I say something wrong? Well, the last person who asked us the same thing nearly cursed us to death. What?
Indeed, the people on this island are nothing but trouble. I've had enough of it. You're the same, aren't you? You're just after immortality like everyone else. Admit it.
Well, I...
Deny.
No, not at all. You've got it all wrong.
Oh? Then why are you after a mermaid?
Well...
I want to meet one. I want to thank one. I want to thank one. That sounds more interesting. Yeah, she's already had an encounter.
You see, I want to find a mermaid because I need to thank them.
Oh, fascinating. Don't tell me. You were once saved by one in the past.
No, not quite.
Then what do you need to thank one for?
I'm sorry, I made that up. I just want to find and meet one, that's all.
Oh, so that's your only reason. Damn, she could like come up with some. Just tell him that you're immortal. I feel like he would think that's interesting. Just tell him, girl.
So, do mermaids really exist?
As it happens, 400 years ago, there was an island near here called Taishima. There are legends that tell of 3 mermaids who lived there: Hayase, Sobe, and Nagami.
Oh, so there were 3.
But sadly, even after all our painstaking research, we've confirmed that meeting any of the 3 is now hopeless.
What? No way.
So my advice on meeting mermaids is this, and this alone. It's time to give up, unless you happen to know things we don't, of course.
Oh, I see.
You see, that's why we decided to give up on Issei Bay mermaids, take in the sights of Kamishima, and head home. There are mermaid legends scattered all across the world. We have all the time in the world to begin a search anew.
Oh, so it really is that hopeless.
Plus, we can't linger on this island much longer anyway. Cersei's condition and duties are also starting to be an issue, you see. So we must be taking our leave here.
Hold on.
Dude, what am I supposed to say that keeps him here? What am I supposed to say? I guess I needed to just say I wanted to meet one right away. Maybe the honesty would have helped. I mean, I feel like she needs to just mention that she's an immortal. That would probably make him perk up a little bit. Oh, no. Maybe we need to go to the Kamishima residence. Alright, let's skip this. Because I forgot I can go to that. Or, sorry, not the Kamishima residence. Why did I say that? Minakuchi, my bad. We need to go to Yusa's house first. Maybe there's something that Suya can give us that we can then bring up at the lighthouse. I'm surprised the list didn't have it there.
Hello? Is anyone home? Who am I kidding? I know no one is here.
Okay, but that doesn't mean we won't find something. Family altar.
This is the Minakuchi family's altar. There are memorial tablets for Tsuyu's husband, her son, Tosuke and her daughter-in-law, Mare, here. I'm sure she never expected they'd all go before her. It must have been hard to deal with.
Yeah, that sounds really sad for her.
It's an altar shelf. Buddhist objects and keepsakes are neatly arranged on it. It also has something Suyu once showed me. Here it is. There's something about it, but I can't put my finger on what. It really is just as beautiful as ever.
It could be a scale from a mermaid, maybe? Is that what it is? I remember that being brought up earlier, but I don't think anybody knew what it was.
I shouldn't just take it, so let me put it back on the shelf where it belongs.
Are you sure you shouldn't just take it? Because maybe we could show it to Abi. Maybe we could put it in the Tome Tobacco and see what happens.
A calendar handed out by the local association. There's one at the Wakamura's place too. This one's still showing last month though. There's a circle around the day that marks the day Yuza came home. She must have really been looking forward to it. A built-in cupboard fitted snug against the wall. You can tell it's been here a long time. These kinds of cupboards help the room feel less cramped. I was so impressed the first time I saw one. Modern design sure is smart. The inside, though, it's a bit messy. Suyu tends to toss anything in there to get it out of the way.
I hear that. Sounds like something I would do.
I visited this room so many times while helping look after Suyu. The owner's away, but people on the island don't usually lock up that tightly. I'd also been asked to come while they were out to help with chores, so by now I know the place well.
It's not like a mockingbird sticker in here, is there?
There is. Oh, what's this?
Yeah! Just 5 more, I think. Yep, getting there. Pretty close.
A sliding glass door that leads out to an outdoor spot to dry laundry. Doesn't get much sun though. A household shrine for the sea god. Almost every home around here has one. Before heading out to sea, everyone always stops to pray here first. Once they come back safe, they pay respects again to give thanks. This chest of drawers is mostly just Suyu's clothes. Gotcha. I've helped put away the laundry, so I have a rough idea what goes where, but they're still her personal things, so I shouldn't open it while she isn't here.
So why are we here then? We're not going to take the mermaid scale or anything either, so...
A light with a wooden frame. Looks like this design evolved from those old lamps with paper shades. I'm glad this older look still turns up here and there.
Alright, let's have ourselves a little think, I guess.
Okay, I'm here.
Alright, that's the only thing she's thinking. Okay. So we didn't get anything here. Oh, stuff. What's this?
All sorts of things are scattered on the floor here. Even with this much storage, people still leave things lying about. Guess some things never change. It's a table. One of those really low tables that's perfect for flipping over. I know because I see it on TV all the time. But with nothing on it, there's not much point in flipping it over, is there?
I feel like there should have been something here to help us to say something different to Arnov. Maybe just simply coming here is going to change when we go to, what happens when we go to the lighthouse? Okay. She still says okay, I'm here. I guess let's go to the lighthouse now. Shoot, I don't know. Let's see if anything's different. I kind of doubt it though. Maybe I have to do the Yuza meeting up with Yumiko first somehow. Yeah, they're still here. Okay, I'm just gonna skip through a lot of the text here since we've already read it twice now. Alright, let's see. Already looked at the surroundings before. Yeah, I guess we're just call out. Excuse me.
Oh, pardon the yawn.
Great to meet ya. Heard about you guys. Oh, we're infamous over here. Maybe instead of talking to Arnov, I should talk to Cersei.
Hello. Oh, hello. That's interesting. I sense something peculiar about you.
Oh, nice. Maybe this is what it was.
Huh? Do you? It's definitely strange, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Are you really human? Huh? I think so.
Hey now, Cersei, that's an awfully rude thing to say to someone. Do forgive her. She still doesn't quite know how to start a conversation.
No, it's fine. Sorry. No, really, it's fine.
Oh yeah, she said the same thing. Beautiful blonde hair. Okay, so maybe that will trigger something different. Let's think.
What the hell is that? She just comes out and asks if I'm human? How in the world could she tell something was off? She doesn't know what I am, right? Everything should be fine. I heard you were searching for a mermaid, is that true?
Oh, tell me, young lady, do you perchance know of a mermaid? Because if so, you must tell. I don't know anything about a specific mermaid. I think this is the same as last time. I look so disappointed. Last person we asked that same thing. I nearly cursed us to death. What? Indeed, the people on this island are nothing but trouble. They're the same, aren't you? Well, I'm going to deny. No, not all. You're all wrong. Oh, then why are you after a mermaid? Well, I want to meet one.
Well, if mermaids are real, then I just want to meet one, even if it's just once.
Oh, I see. Chasing the legend, are we? I must say I have a soft spot for ambitions like that.
I'm glad to hear that. So, did you manage to find any?
As it happens, 400 years ago, there was an island near here called Taishima. There are legends that tell of 3 mermaids who live there. Ayase, Sobe, and Nagami.
Oh, so there were 3.
But sadly, even after all our painstaking research, we've confirmed that meeting any of the 3 is now hopeless.
What? No way.
So my advice on meeting mermaids is this, and this alone. It's time to give up, unless you happen to know things we don't, of course.
Oh, I see.
You see, that's why we decided to give up on the Ise Bay mermaids, take in the sights of Kamishima, and head home. There are mermaid legends scattered all across the world, so we have all the time in the world to begin the search anew.
Oh, if it really is that hopeless.
Plus, we can't linger on this island much longer anyway. Cersei's condition and duties are also starting to be an issue, you see. So we must be taking our leave here.
Hold on.
Okay, there must be something else I gotta do in another part of the story then.
They left. Damn, that's no good.
See, it's like there's still something I can do here, but I don't know what it is. I feel like I've exhausted all the options there, so I guess I'm just gonna have to move on to the sanctuary. I mean, maybe. Oh, pardon. Maybe there's something in possessions that needs to happen. I feel like I got the best outcome of possessions, though. Because we didn't kill Kikuko, But we did get her curse stone away from her. Yeah, I don't know. It might be something that's revealed here that, you know, gives me like a recollection or something. Sometimes that happens. So, well, to the sanctuary it is. After taking steps to distract Kikuko from her plot to unleash the curse that will cause a mass murder on Kamishima, Yuza asks Azumi to retrieve the hand mirrors Kikuko distributed across the island. Shortly after, Yuza is summoned for an audience with Yumiko Shiki.
Ah, there you are. You're Yuza Minakuchi, correct?
That's me. I was told to come here, so here I am. Huh? Were you sent here too, Azumi? Who, me? Nah. I was just passing by when I heard about what was going on, so I decided to wait here for you. Thanks, Azumi. So, as I understand it, you're the two brave police officers who was sent here from Tokyo to deal with the curse of the raging waves?
Brave? I wouldn't go that far. My name is Yumiko Shiki, and this is Soro Kiryu.
Pleased to meet you.
Am I mistaken, or did the two of you visit Kamishima yesterday as well?
It almost seemed as if you ran away at the sight of me. Did I do something to scare you off?
Dear me, you noticed us, did you? My apologies. I'll explain everything shortly. Ah, but before I forget, that fellow over there has business with you as well, Yuza.
Huh? Mr. Wakamura?
He was fairly suspicious of us at first, but it seems we have finally earned his trust. He has kindly agreed to assist us in putting an end to the curse of the raging waves.
Wait, really?
Really. But tell me, is it true you're already familiar with this curse? That's what your friend here told us.
Yeah, more or less.
Good. Then it seems we're all up to speed.
Alright, well, Mr. Wakamura, what the fuck? He's like always startling to see for some reason. Looking for bird stickers. Oh my god, we have any here. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry about yawning. Whew. Yeah, woken up earlier than I wanted to this morning, and I think it's coming back to bite me. The rays of sunlight beaming down amidst this stifling humidity are accompanied by a chorus of cicadas that somehow intensifies the heat. Yeah, I agree. I feel like the sound of cicadas always makes it seem even hotter than it usually is. This building is where the neighborhood association meetings are held. Tsukasa must have made the most of her family ties to gain free access to it as a relay station. Apparently Tsukasa is still inside, waiting to handle the communications. Lucky. I bet it's nice and cool in there with the air conditioner on. So Mr. Wakamura has been trying to end the curse of the raging waves too, huh? Let's talk to him. Let's think first. Sounds like we weren't the only ones looking into the curse of the raging waves. Above all, hearing that what Gran revealed came as a huge shock, especially to me. To think Mom was a descendant of the survivor of Taishima, that 5 years ago she tried to break the curse but failed. Guess I finally understand why Gran just sat back and took all the abuse the other islanders leveled at us. So you found out about the curse of the raging waves then, eh, boy? Yeah, to an extent anyway. I always figured your mother was behind it, and that she was descended from the raiders, but... Wait, really? That's why you blamed my mom for the disaster? Well, you had it all wrong. Turns out she's a descendant of Taishima Islanders, the victims. Seems you know more than you're letting on. No, that's just what Grant said. So you knew about this too, eh? Suppose I should have known. But see here, your mother tried to end the curse 5 years ago and failed, didn't she? If that's what brought on the disaster, I wasn't so far off after all, was I? Nah. But be that as it may, still owe you an apology for pinning the curse on your mother all this time. Especially seeing as she was the only one who found the bronze mirror and held the curse back for us. For what it's worth, sorry.
That's nice to hear.
Good on you, Mr. Wakamuda. At least you can admit when you've made a mistake. When your own instructor comes along and tells you to change your views, what choice do you have?
Instructor? Are you talking about that sorcerer friend of yours? That's right. We discovered the sorcerer's identity. From there, it wasn't too difficult to reach an understanding. That's how we earned this fellow's cooperation as well.
Seems I misjudged you. If my instructor says you're the real deal, then I reckon you must be.
Okay.
But just to be sure now, do you have a way to end this curse of the raging waves? Yes, or you do have it, yes? I can trust you on that?
Yes. There are still a few points we need to confirm, but it is guaranteed to work.
If that's true, then I suppose I won't be needing Unkaku Dono's help anymore.
Unkaku Dono? You mean to say that Yamashina has known of a way to break the curse all along?
Well, you know about Unkaku Dono too, eh? As a matter of fact, just yesterday he told me out of the blue he'd found a way to end it. Said he'd tell me what it was on the condition I brought him Sato Shiranami.
Ha! Information he got from Ikoma, I have no doubt. And he asked for the girl, I see.
Yusa's like, what the hell's going on here, dude?
And you were prepared to hand her over? Isn't she a relative of yours?
So what if I was? It's got nothing to do with you.
If you say so. In any case, the information Yamashina had for you must be the same as what we have to share. So there's no longer any need for you to betray your own kin.
I'll hold you to that. I thought he was going to say I told you I wasn't going to do that for a second. All the same, I'm not sure.
Is something else troubling you?
According to you, when Mare Minakuchi failed to break the curse, it brought on the disaster 5 years ago, but is that really the truth?
What are you getting at?
Well, if that still-tide mirror worked as it should, there wouldn't have been no disaster, would there? It only leaves one possibility, don't it? The Raging Waves curse bearer was stirring up trouble.
By curse bearer, I assume you mean a descendant of the Raiders of Taishima.
Exactly. If someone of that lineage got anywhere near the southern sea, the wrath of Taishima would churn up those waters into a maelstrom. Anyhow, my instructor swears that the true cause of the disaster 5 years ago, and I'm inclined to agree.
So that's your theory, is it? Now I understand why you suspected Mare Minakuchi's heritage. Though I gather this instructor of yours never actually accused her of being the curse bearer.
True. Never was sure on that point. Said we couldn't be certain, given how it'd been 5 years and all. But all things considered, who could blame me for being suspicious of her? No one knew where she had come from.
I don't wish to doubt your instructor, but I'm not sure how much water this theory holds. Yet we cannot rule it out entirely, given what we know of this sorcerer's powers.
So you're skeptical, eh? Not as if you have a better idea, though, is it?
While you do have a point, the issue remains. If Mare wasn't the curse bearer, who else could have it been? Who could it have been?
I cannot read today. well, can't say I'd figured that out yet, but...
Sorry to interrupt, but I have something to say. Yes? Assuming my mom wasn't the Raging Waves curse bearer, I have a theory. See, I've read over the reports of the incident again and again, and there's something I noticed. Oh? And what might that be? Well... Isn't the work of a curse? There's another suspect. There's another possible cause.
I think I need to look at the files. I don't know what he's talking about. Did we read that?
Pardon me, gosh, I hate
yawning in front of everybody, but I'm sorry. It just happened. All right, let's read through this and see if we can find anything. A localized storm that broke out in the sea to the southern Kamishima around 5 years ago, resulting in a maritime accident in which the total of 10 people went missing. 3 fishing vessels had set out to sea from Kamishima, were suddenly caught in an unanticipated storm and foundered, leaving all but one of the 11 fishermen and AMA divers on board missing. When the ships were later dredged up and searched, not a single body was discovered. The sole survivor was Yuza Minakuchi, who was a middle school student at the time. His parents, Sosuke Minakuchi and Mare Minakuchi, as well as Azumi Kimoi's father, Kiyoshi Kumoi, were among the victims. Locals in the area reportedly heard an eerie rumbling from the sea on the morning of the incident. I guess the rumbling in the sea? I don't know. List of casualties. Medium-sized fish vessel Daiichi Kyosui Maru foundered. Captain Kyoichi Kumoi and all 5 crew members reported missing. Small-sized fishing vessel Ome Maru foundered. Captain Yukiji Nishikawa and 1 passenger, identity unknown, reported missing. Identity unknown, okay. Small-sized fishing vessel Minakuchi Maru foundered. Captain Tosuke Minakuchi and 1 other member reported missing. 1 passenger recovered with slight injuries, dissociative amnesia due to psychological trauma. The sole survivor. When the boat the Minakuchi family was on about to sink, Mare and Tosuke Minakuchi put a life buoy on their son, Yuza, and helped him escape the boat before the waves engulfed it. Despite the slim chances of survival in such a dire situation, Yuza was miraculously found drifting in the sea the next day, still wearing the life buoy, and was successfully rescued. Although he had no external injuries, the shock of the accident had left him in a state of confusion, and he has little memory of what happened at that time. After the accident plunged Kamishima into a state of deep sorrow. Fishermen and AMA divers temporarily stopped fishing to mourn, and a memorial was erected to honor the lost. Perhaps due to his memory loss, the sole survivor, Yuza, appeared relatively composed in contrast to the grief of those around him. Many found this unnerving, and Yuza became increasingly isolated from the rest of the community. Azumi Kumoi, himself having lost his father in the accident, tried to support him however he could, reasoning that he was still better off than Yuza, who had lost both his parents before his very eyes. As investigations continued, questions arose about what the Minakuchi family had been doing in the vicinity of the disaster, despite not having gone out to fish. Yuza only remembered his parents telling him to come with them, and the purpose of their excursion remains unclear to this day. It was not long before speculation began that Mare Minakuchi had done something to incur the wrath of the god of the sea, and the islanders, already suspicious of her due to her mysterious background, were quick to condemn her, citing the sudden localized nature of the storm. In contrast, only words of sympathy were spoken for her husband, Tosuke. As rumors that Mare had brought disaster to Kamishima continued to spread, Yuza's grandmother, Suyu Minakuchi, sent him away from the island to board at a high school on the mainland. She had sensed the islanders' resentment beginning to turn toward Yuza and hoped to shield him from becoming an even greater target of the ire. Even now, 5 years after the accident, feelings of animosity towards Mare Minakuchi remain deeply ingrained in the people of Kamishima, with the truth of the accident still shrouded in mystery. Deep scars and suspicions continue to linger in the hearts of many of the islanders. So I guess there's this person who's unidentified on the Nishikawa ship. Identity unknown. There's another possible cause. There's another suspect. This isn't the work of a curse. I don't know, I guess I'll try there's another suspect, because there was that person who was unidentified. That's the only thing that really seems... I mean, maybe there's an earthquake or the rumbling or whatever, but that could be the curse itself, so I'll say there's another suspect. And that person was on board the Ome Maru. I remember reading that the identity of one of the passengers aboard the Ome Maru was unknown. Couldn't they have been the curse bearer? Interesting. Well, Mr. Wakamura, what do you know of this mysterious individual? The Ome Maru. That was Yukiji Nishikawa's boat, as I recall, according to the departure declaration. The Omimaru had taken someone on board, someone in business on the mainland who had research to do. But, as no name was given, no one had a clue who they were.
Oh? I thought the point of these declarations was to keep a record in case of an accident. Sounds to me like someone was careless.
Can't deny that.
So this passenger was never identified?
No, but mind you, eyewitness reports say that when the Omimaru set sail that day, the captain was alone on board. So maybe he picked them up after on the mainland, or maybe they never boarded to begin with. Who's to say?
But do you think it's possible this person could have been the curse bearer?
Could be. If it isn't Made, it'd make for a hell of a coincidence, though.
Unfortunately, since this Nishikawa fellow isn't around, there's no way to find out.
Well, that kind of felt like it didn't go anywhere.
Sounds like we weren't the only ones. Oh, yeah, I already read that.
I already read it. Well, I've already apologized, so I can't say that much concerns me anymore. All I care about now is putting an end to the curse of the raging waves. Okay.
This man is Miss Shiki's assistant. Apparently, he's not officially with the police. Right now, he's just quietly following orders. But for some reason, I get the feeling he's the type who is really scary when they're angry.
It's always the quiet ones.
I can't put my finger on it, but there's something mysterious about this woman.
I mean, there's that weird bruise she's got on her neck. I feel like we're going to learn something about that at some point.
I had no idea there was actually police officers who handled supernatural incidents. To be frank, I have a favor I'd like to ask of you as soon as possible. But I understand you must have questions, so we'll come back to that later. For now, ask me whatever you'd like.
I have nothing further to add. I imagine this isn't easy for you, but I appreciate your cooperation.
Right. To be frank, I have a favor I'd like to ask you. Oh, okay.
Okay, well, how am I supposed to ask if it doesn't prompt me? Let's talk to Azumi.
That reminds me, any luck with those hand mirrors, Azumi?
No worries there. I got them all back.
Every last one? You must be the fastest mirror collector in Japan. I knew I could count on you. Thanks, Azumi. Oh? Are you talking about the mirrors Kikuko Susui was handing out earlier?
Huh? How'd you know?
I, realized they were dangerous, so I had Azumi collect them all. Really? Does that mean you figured out they were the targets of the curse?
Wait, you knew about that? So it's true. What's the deal with these things, anyway?
I see. So these curse stones can be used to kill people instantly. But since Kikuko's curse stone was confiscated, the danger's passed.
Phew, what a relief.
What I want to know is how you found out that Kikuko intended to use those hand mirrors as the targets of her curse to begin with. About that. I'm not sure you'll believe me, but... What? You encountered a Tomokazuki while you were diving and it showed you a vision? That's the long and short of it. Any idea what it means? Paranormal encounters are your area of expertise, after all. I have known instances of a phenomena capable of instilling memories. However, your experience does not seem to fit with any of them. I wonder why the thing looked like you. That's the strangest part in my book.
Hold up. You don't think this Tomokazuki could be a kind of curse, do you?
It is true that some curses are accompanied by phantoms known as curse echoes. Yet, as the apparition you encountered warned him of impending danger, it seems unlikely to have been the product of a harmful curse. That being said, I'm afraid I cannot begin to guess its true nature. He's probably working his gray matter into overdrive trying to keep up with everything that's going on. I wish there was time to explain everything properly. Honestly, I barely understand all this myself.
Well, at least that hand mirror curse is dealt with. That's a load off our minds.
Right, but we're not done yet. One calamity down, one to go.
Oh yeah, guess we can't relax till the curse of the raging waves is broken too.
Where shall we begin?
How about you, sir?
But before you go, I have one last question to ask you, Yuza. Oh, and what would that be? Well, how should I put this? It's a delicate subject. Mind if I have a private word?
Huh? Well, maybe I should have asked that other thing first. Didn't realize it was going to lead this far.
So, what did you want to talk about? Just so we're clear, if you're looking to grow pearls, I don't know anything about that. That would require delicate handling, and that's not what I meant. Yuza, when you got caught in the disaster 5 years ago, did you by chance encounter a mermaid? Huh?
Actually, I did.
I did? But how did you know about that? Good of you to tell the truth. That makes this easier. As for how I know, that would be because it's the only possible explanation. Meaning? Come now, Yuza. A mermaid has cursed you with immortality. You're an 800-year immortal. What? You can't hide the truth from me. These eyes don't lie. I assume it occurred during the disaster 5 years ago. You must have nearly died. But then you were revived by a mermaid and made immortal. Surely you must have realized this by now.
Yeah. You got me. I'm an immortal boy with an undying body.
Why did this happen to you, I wonder?
I wish I knew. If you could tell me more about it, would you mind filling me in?
I suppose that's only fair. What would you like to know?
Mermaids.
I was wondering, does me being immortal have anything to do with my mom? I mean, is there any chance she could have been a mermaid? None whatsoever. In all likelihood, you received your immortality from the mermaid Sobe. You see, Mare Minakuchi was a descendant of the clan that was tasked with escorting Sobe back to Ryugu. That much I am certain of. Is that why she tried to break the curse of the raging waves 5 years ago? I can only assume so. However, as the seal over the entrance to Ryugu had yet to break, things didn't go as planned. Does this mean Sobe could still be nearby? Maybe she's living in the sea around Kamishima. I'm afraid there's little chance of that. See, when the entrance to Ryugu was unsealed 3 months ago, Sobe would have been able to return home. Oh, well, I guess that means Mom's duty was fulfilled in the end. That's something, at least.
800-year immortals?
Earlier you said a mermaid cursed me. What exactly did you mean by that? Just what it sounds like. For 800 years, you'll be incapable of aging or dying. What is that but a curse? Your very existence defies the laws of nature. You could hardly be termed human. You are now an anomalous being, something closer to a spirit. Though for that matter, I'm in no position to talk.
Huh?
Still, I do feel sorry for you. What possessed her to curse you, a mere child? I should like to know. I always thought that mermaid saved my life. Was I wrong? Well, that depends on how you look at things. Personally, I wouldn't call what she did saving you at all. At the end of the day, she saddled you with an existence worse than death.
Is it that terrible?
It's only been 5 years. The people around you probably think you're a late bloomer. But give it another decade or two and your static appearance will start to stand out. And should you ever meet with a would-be fatal accident in public, it's all over for you. If your immortal nature is exposed, you'll be bombarded with public scrutiny at best. At worst, you'll be captured and experimented on. Either way, from that moment on, you'll never be able to land a normal life in human society again.
Or lead, I said land.
Humans have always coveted immortality. Countless dream of it, even of today. But the reality is, only the first few decades of your existence are bound to be enjoyable. It's only going to get harder for you as time goes on. Humans were never meant to live for hundreds of years. A lifespan that long is unendurable. And speaking as a member of law enforcement, The existence of immortal beings must be kept hidden, or all sorts of problems can arise. Problems like what? Well, it's not easy to keep a lid on things these days, and it doesn't take much to incite panic or start a war. Just last year, there was that ruckus over the right of resurrection, if you'll remember. Suffice to say, whenever I track down an 800-year immortal, I can't just leave them be. What are you saying? Are you going to arrest me? Ordinarily, I would. Protocol dictates that I capture any 800-year immortals I find and seal them in an underground vault. That's the fate I was thinking of when I mentioned that being immortal is an existence worse than death. Yeah. Don't worry. I've no intention of taking you anywhere just yet. You're a special case. The way I see it, you're essentially the victim here. Not to mention, I need your help breaking the curse of the raging waves. So it seems like we'll have to find a way to compromise. I don't know why, but you're looking for information about mermaids as well, right? Do you know of any way I can meet this mermaid? You don't give up easily, huh? Are you another mermaid fan? Another fan? Those foreigners who visited the island recently were also very keen on meeting a mermaid. Oh, you mean that author and his young guide? Sure do. You've spoken with them, I take it? Actually, no, I never met them. But I saw them when I had that vision. Is that so? Well, all I can tell you is that the same thing I told them. Meeting a mermaid is no longer possible. Does that mean there's no way to visit Ryugu either? The thing is, Ryugu is pretty close to what's typically referred to as the afterlife. You might say it's the space between our world and the land of the dead. And there's no way to travel there? None at all? Sorry, no. You'll just have to accept that.
Okay, say that again. Alright. Gotta go back to 800-year immortals.
Well, for starters, mermaids aren't meant to interfere in the lives of mortals. Even their kind won't approve of that.
Really?
In fact, generally speaking, creating an 800-year immortal is flat out forbidden. Despite that, Sobe made you immortal. In other words, this mermaid went out of her way to place a curse on you. I guess that settles it. Her intent wasn't to save me after all. Exactly. I was hoping you'd be able to tell me what made her go that far. But it turns out you're just as clueless as I am.
Yep.
Then all we know for sure is that something happened between Sobe and your mother that day. And that led to you being made immortal. Whether that was simply to save your life or for some other reason, there's unfortunately no way of knowing. There's something else that's been bugging me. Can mermaids create 800-year immortals at will? As in, you don't really have to eat their flesh? Actually, you do. You can't become immortal without ingesting a bit of mermaid flesh, even if it's a tiny piece. However, it's not as simple as cutting off a slice. Mermaid flesh withers away the moment it's severed and loses all its efficacy. In order for a mermaid to create an immortal of her own volition, she would have to allow a human to bite her directly. How could that happen without a human's consent? I mean, I was barely conscious when I became an undead boy. I mean, an 800-year immortal. Like I said, even the tiniest piece, a mere scrap of her tail, would do the trick. You could move someone's jaw while they were unconscious and get them to bite. It's not impossible. Oh, damn. Guess that was a lot more forceful than I was imagining. So all you have to do is bite a living mermaid and you become immortal? Pretty much. Though I assume a few mermaids would consent to that. So that's how it works. But if the flesh has been severed, ingesting it wouldn't extend your lifespan at all, huh? That's right. Ordinarily, anyway. Ordinarily? You mean there's an exception? If a mermaid's flesh is cut within the confines of Ryugu, it won't wither away. It just grows back. Huh. Which is why the Tome Tobacco is important. Alright, let us continue our conversation with Yumiko. About mermaids? Is that where we were? But I'm curious, what were you intending to do if you found a way to meet Sobe? Honestly, at first, I just wanted to thank her for saving me, but after what you told me, that's changed. How so? Well, now I'm more curious to hear about why she decided to make me an 800-year immortal and what happened with my mom that day. Can't say I blame you. But I understand where you're coming from, but it just can't be done. Even if I can't meet her, isn't there some way I could learn the truth? Well, you can't ask her directly, or communicate with her in any way. But you know, I heard you have no memory of the incident 5 years ago. Is that true? Well, yeah. The doctors reckon it's because of the shock. Even my memories of meeting a mermaid are really hazy. Still, it may be possible that Sobe's strong thoughts spilled over, impressed themselves in your mind somehow. If so, they're likely buried in the depths of your subconscious. You're saying that memory still exists somewhere, and I might understand what her intentions were if I just recalled it? But how would I even do that? I don't know. The only piece of advice I have for you is to think back. Delve into your memories and scour them from corner to corner. Delve into my memories. Oh, this is a thought. Delve into my memories, huh? That's weird. But I get the sense I've already done that. That I've already seen what I need to see there. Think about it. You must have encountered Sobe before. All you need to do is locate your memory of that time. Can I do that? While I've got you here, I guess I might as well ask. Is there no way to reverse immortality? You wouldn't be the first 800-year immortal to seek that possibility. But unfortunately, the answer is no. The moment you became immortal, you lose your mortal form for good. I see. And is there no way for an 800-year immortal to die, other than by waiting for their lifespan to end? No. It is simply impossible. That is what makes it a curse. Not that I want to experiment, but what would happen if, say, I threw my body into a furnace or a vat of acid? The instant it resulted in death, you would begin to reform, starting from the part of you with the largest remaining piece of your heart. Every other part of you would then vanish. No matter how beyond repair your body becomes, it will be healed when you resurrect. I see. On the other hand, you won't be healed if your injuries aren't fatal, no matter how badly hurt you are. For example, taking the furnace scenario you mentioned. If your body remained in the furnace after you resurrected, you would burn to death again, then revive again, and so on, in an endless cycle. All while fully conscious. Shit. Sounds like hell. Literally. My advice, be very careful not to fall into any bottomless pits. Right. I'll be sure to keep that in mind if I ever go near one. By the way, you mentioned I'd resurrect from the part around my heart. Does that mean that if my head was cut off, only my body would regenerate? Well, yes. That should be the case. But what would happen to my consciousness, my memories, my thoughts? All that is stored in the brain, isn't it? That's a tough one. As I mentioned, every part of you except the one that resurrects will vanish. So it seems likely that everything inside your head, including your consciousness, would vanish too. That can happen? Does that mean my regenerated body would have an entirely new consciousness? Well, it seems 800-year immortals do sometimes have fuzzy memories after they resurrect. But I've never known anyone who tried what you're describing. It's possible your consciousness would be reinstated, carried over just as it was before. Though it's equally possible that it would be divided, or become a new entity. There's no way to know unless you decide to test it out yourself.
Divided, huh? It's funny that he says that because he does get his head chopped off. So, but he seemed to remember his friends and everything. I wonder if that's how he got the memories. You think that's why he saw the vision? Well, he saw the vision because of the Tomo Tobacco. I don't know. Interesting. I feel like it's trying to say something about him getting his head chopped off.
Look, I wish I could make this easier on you. But there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Still, so long as you stay put on this island and keep a low profile, I'm prepared to leave you be. You've managed to keep your immortality a secret for 5 years now, after all.
Thank you.
So I'll do everything in my power not to get found out, so please, don't arrest me. Alright, then we better head back to your friend, or your friend will start to wonder what's happened to you.
Right. Thanks for answering my questions. Welcome back. Everything okay, Yuza? Of course. If it wasn't, I'd have had to make a dramatic entrance. I don't know. That was really hard for me to say for some reason. Glad to see you're your usual oddball self. Guess there's nothing to worry about then. Well, it seems we've managed to put a stop to Kikuko's massacre, at least. Now, if we can just break the curse of the raging waves, I'll be able to get back to focusing on my true goal. Breaking the curse.
400 years ago, an Onimoji sealed the entrance to Ryugu in an attempt to contain the curse of the raging waves. Then left behind instructions as to how the curse could be broken after 400 years that had elapsed. There are 3 steps that must be followed.
Just 3, huh? First, thou must unbind my seal, risen from the depths within the iron box. Second, thou must offer the still-tied mirror bequeathed by the sacrifice to the sanctuary. Third, let those who share... Oh, sorry. Keep sneaking up on me. Third, let those who share blood with the lost souls of Taishima be the ones to offer appeasement.
That should be the wording, if I remember correctly. Let's consider each of the steps in turn. First, as to the iron box, that refers to the container in which these instructions were kept. It surfaced when the entrance to Ryugu was unsealed. It stands to reason that the seal mentioned in the first step must also have appeared somewhere.
What is this seal anyway?
It's the Onimoji's own symbol, the same symbol used to seal the entrance to Ryugu. This is what it looks like. I expect we'll find a mark identical to one in this map somewhere on the sea floor, which I already did, and I already broke it. The marked location is likely the sanctuary mentioned in the second step. It should be in the vicinity of Kamishima. Oh, actually, something tells me there's a really good chance the seal has already been taken care of. Huh? See, I found something like that when I was out diving this morning, and I don't know what came over me, but I just went ahead and yanked the chains off. You what?
Seriously, Yuza? I felt pretty guilty about it at the time, but I'm sure it was the same mark, so that means we've already completed the first step, right?
If anything, I could say unbinding that seal was what all my diving training was for.
It kind of was, because I think I had to level up enough to even get close to it.
That's one way of looking at it. In any case, all's well that ends well. Good work, Yuza. Moving right along. The second step centers around the still-tied mirror, bequeathed by the sacrifice. It's got to be the mirror Mare Minakuchi found, which we have just retrieved from the shrine in the bay. From what I heard, that mirror is what's been holding the curse in check all these years. That's right, and now it must be offered to the sanctuary. The former site of the Taishima sanctuary should lie in that area. Perhaps that is the location we seek. In that case, I reckon the hole where I encountered the Tomokazuki is the most likely spot. After all, it only appeared a few months back. Can't think of anywhere else it could be. That does seem likely. The only problem is there's no way through.
Huh? How's that?
Well, there's a powerful current in there. Go too far in and it'd drag you down to the depths in an instant. That does not strike me as a natural phenomenon. It is possible the sanctuary lies within. And perhaps one must have the still-tied mirror in hand to pass through safely. That makes sense. Then it seems the way forward is clear, as far as the first 2 steps are concerned. Right. That just leaves the third. The final instruction stipulates that a descendant of the Taishima Islanders must carry out these tasks, meaning you, Yuza. So that's why I was called here, huh? Gotta go in that scary hole. I guess we're going to Ryugu then, because that's what it's saying. That's the entrance to Ryugu, I think is what it's saying. Well, I've already undone the Onimuji seals, so all that's left is to take the still-tied mirror through that hole and offer it to the sanctuary. We're counting on you, Yuza. If you pull this off, the curse of the raging waves could be broken for good. Let's hop on it then. I'll take you out on the boat. Thanks, Azumi. Sounds like this is a job for the patron saint of diving. The patron saint? Who are you talking about? Don't worry about it. It's a private joke. Well, I dare say that covers everything we needed to discuss. It's time the 2 of you were on your way. That curse won't break itself. Come on, Yuza. The future of Kamishima is riding on you. Right. I'll do everything I can. Minakuchi Yuza. If you end this curse, I'll see to it that the rumors about you go away and that you're hailed as a hero of Kamishima. So get it done. You hear that, Yuza? This is a chance to clear your name for good. Sounds like a fair deal. You can count on me, Mr. Wakamura. Ready to roll, Yuza? You've got that bronze mirror with you. Yep, I've got it right here. Ready when you are. Since the seal's already taken care of, all you gotta do is check out that hole you found last time, right? Yeah, this will be a piece of cake. It's just there and back. I could do it all in my sleep. Nothing wrong with being confident, but don't get cocky. Still gotta be careful down there. Good luck, Yuza. I'll be waiting right here. Alright, let's do it, dude. Sounds like we're handling this stuff. Begin! Could I still go fishing while I'm down here? That'd be kind of funny. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick a bunch of fish up while I'm here. Good. Looks like the powerful current has receded. Should be able to make it through now. Only one way to find out. And the storyteller's gonna be in here. This place feels vaguely familiar. Have I been here before? Maybe I'm just imagining things. I think he's thinking about the storyteller thing, because we've always been in this area for the storyteller. Okay, no, same thought. There's a tunnel here. Is this the right way? Dude, how scary would that be? There's an open space here, but it's pitch dark. Could this be the sanctuary? Good thing I brought my flashlight. Let's see. It's too dark to see anything, but I can feel a presence here. Maybe I should try switching on my flashlight. Oh, jeez. Let's look around before you switch the flashlight on. Spooky, spooky, spooky. No, nothing so far. What if it was the storyteller's like, oh, hello, Yuza. That'd be so bizarre. Yeah, I can't see anything with the flashlight off, so I definitely need it on. There, now I can see. Time to have a good look around. We're gonna find a bird sticker here? That'd be crazy. Oh, it's the thing in the cover. That's the entrance to Ryugu right there. Right.
hard to get my bearings, but I think this is to the right. Nothing here but a wall. Behind. If I turn around, all I can see is the way I came through. This would be the left of the entrance, I think. Nothing here, though. There's lots of puddles on the floor. Better watch my step. This way should take me further in. The stone archway over there. Could that be the entrance to Ryugu? I should take a closer look. That's weird. I felt the presence just now, but it's like it vanished the second I switched on my flashlight. From what I saw, the space up ahead doesn't look all that big. I should head in and take a good look around. We're gonna meet a mermaid in here? That'd be pretty cool. A stone archway. Could be the entrance to Ryugu. Nothing happens when I go near it. I guess humans really can't travel there after all. So all I need to do is break the curses, leave the bronze mirror here, right? If I light on. Oh god, the music is all scary. Oh, and then there's like a... Oh, it's the... there's a mermaid there. Is this Sobe? Ah! The second I turned my flashlight off, I started to sense that presence again. If I can just figure out what direction the sensation is coming from. Boom. Ah! What the hell was that? That looks like Hayase, though. I mean, I guess I don't know what the other ones look like. Turn back, let off, think. You gotta look at the stone archway. Wait a minute, is that the mermaid Hayase? Not in the flesh, but a... what is it called? A curse echo. Like the imprint of a curse. Oh, what if this mermaid's echo indicates the presence of the curse? If so, now's my chance to offer up the still-tied mirror. Offer the mirror, dude. Now, curse of the raging waves, heed my call, and trouble us no more. Whoa. Oh, and then we just came back after that? Okay. That's how we're gonna end that. Ah, there you are. Good work out there. We felt it the moment you pulled it off. The curse of the raging waves is gone for good, and it's all thanks to you. Indeed, a job well done. The curse aura that once enveloped this island has faded without a trace. Really? Phew. We sure couldn't tell, but turns out it worked. You hear that, Yuza? You did it! Yeah, now we can finally relax. Well, that is certainly one problem taken care of. Now my assistant and I can focus on another issue that requires our attention. Already? Sounds like you've got a lot on your plate. Naturally, our convenience is of a little concern. Naturally, our convenience is of little concern to the paranormal. There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Huh? Oh, hey, Tsukasa, what's up? Not you. I'm talking to Miss Shiki. There's a call for you over at the station, ma'am. A call? Suppose this must be a police matter. Understood. I'll head there right away. You'll have to excuse us. But if there's anything else, feel free to contact me. I will. Thanks for everything. So, spill. What happened with the curse? It's gone. Yuza ended it.
Yay! Nice one, Yuza. You know, I reckon I've got a knack for this. Maybe I'll go into the curse-breaking business. Hit me up if you need any other curses broken. Haha, you never know. That might be your true calling. Maybe it suits you even better than being an Amadiver. Come to think of it, you'd better let old man Wakamuda know how it all went down. Where'd he get off to anyway? Don't ask me. Maybe he went home. Probably. How about it, Yuza? Want to go see him? Yeah, okay. Suppose we did make that deal. But it can wait until after I've had a chance to change clothes and take a breather. I'm beat. Fair enough. Guess it's not like there's any hurry, huh? In the meantime, I'll go work on the boat. Let's meet up later, yeah? As for me, I'll track down Sato and Tsuyu and fill them in. Later.
Several hours later. By the way, Yuza, you haven't given up on finding that mermaid, have you? Got any leads? Sort of. Miss Shiki shared some information with me earlier when she pulled me aside. Really? Oh, guess experts on the supernatural would know about mermaids too, huh? So, what did she say? Did you find out what you have to do to meet one? Actually, it turns out that the mermaid who saved me isn't in this world anymore. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? It means she's gone back to Ryugu, the world beyond. Apparently it's a place between this world and the world of the dead. Wait, really? Does that mean mermaids aren't from our world? I guess not. Well, sounds like you've hit a dead end. Hey, Mr. Wakamuda, you in? We've come to tell you the good news. Yuza did it. He broke the curse, so you better keep up your end of the deal. Maybe he didn't hear you. Hey, anybody home? I'm coming in. Why, is he gonna be dead or something? Huh? The door's already open. That's weird. Mr. Wakamuda? What the? Oh yeah, he's dead. Oh god, chopped in fucking half, dude. Mr. Wakamuda, don't tell me he's... Oh dude, he's fucking dead, dude. I don't believe it. That wound, did a curse cause it? But we ended the curse, didn't we? Well, not that one, dude. I mean, a curse bearer would have done that, but... Doesn't Yumiko have that? Curse stone? Oh, we got 2 new ones, dude. Holy crap. Okay. Interesting, interesting. I felt like we were reaching an end of a storyline there, but it's still going. A phone call and a fabrication. Let's do a phone call. Interesting. Just when the curse of the raging waves has been lifted and it seems Kamishima is no longer has any curses left to fear, Yumiko receives a phone call that changes everything. Probably, I guess, that rich dude's gonna be pissed off because he's like, hey dude, I was trying to do something here and you guys fucking meddled in this event or whatever.
Hello, this is Shiki speaking.
Miss Shiki? It's me, Ide from the May Police Department.
Oh, Detective Ide. What is it?
Right after we got your call, we went to look into Yamashina and that Ikoma guy you mentioned as working for him.
Oh, that's right. How did it go?
Not well, that's for sure. We found the old man murdered in his own home.
What?
Yeah, about Yamashina.
What on earth happened to Yamashina?
Well... We tried getting in touch with his secretary first, but he wasn't responding to any attempts to contact him. So we went to his house together, but ended up having to use a spare key to get in. There wasn't anyone else around. After looking around a bit, we found what looked like a cell in one of the outlying buildings that had been shut up tight.
A cell?
Yep, we found Yamashina there, collapsed in a pool of blood. We called an ambulance right away, but we could tell at a glance it was already too late.
That bad, was it?
Worse than bad. Just remembering it sends a shiver down my spine. He had this massive wound like a sharp blade had sliced right through his torso, bone and all.
What?
First thing that came to mind was the skeletons in the Toba case. Pretty reminiscent, don't you think?
Very, but it couldn't be. Do we have an estimated time of death yet?
They're still investigating, but the blood wasn't even dry. I'd put it within the past few hours. The curse stone housing the curse of the Tomoshige has been in my possession the entire time. There's no way anyone could have used it.
My thoughts exactly.
Oh yeah, we looked into it and we were able to confirm Yamashina had a man called Ikipe Ikoma working for him. From what I hear, the guy's also wanted for solicitation of murder.
He is, although we only have testimony to go on right now, so we can't say anything for certain.
Still, him having the exact same name as that victim in the Toba skeleton case is pretty damn confusing.
It seems Ikoma gave a curse stone, a dangerous tool that lets you curse others to death, to a local woman with the intent of causing a massacre.
Jeez, scary to think there are tools like that around. Wait, what happened to that woman then?
She's been apprehended, but it seems she won't be able to talk for a while. Could we ask you to handle taking her in as well?
Oh boy, got it. I'll take the necessary arrangements.
Thank you, Detective. I'll let you know the details later.
Yamashina's quite the big shot in politics and business around these parts. There's worry news of his death might cause a stir, so the higher-ups will probably want us to keep mum about it for now.
I see. That might be for the best, yes.
Weren't there a load of rumors about some succession crisis going on with him?
There were indeed, though according to that man himself, he'd already chosen his successor and handed his will to his lawyer to boot.
Whoa, really? That should make things go more smoothly at least.
Wait, you don't think there's the possibility that might have served as a motive?
You mean the culprit might have been mad that they weren't chosen as his successor? I can see that if he hadn't left a will, but you said he had, right?
True, perhaps they didn't know about it?
Either way, there are more people out there who'd want Yamashina dead than you can shake a stick at. Finding our culprit based on motive will probably prove tricky.
I see.
Still, I can't imagine you'd be able to swing around a katana in that tiny little room. This wouldn't be the work of some supernatural phenomenon again, would it?
I'm afraid that's looking quite likely.
Jeez, you sure can do some terrifying things with these curses. How are we even meant to investigate this stuff? Our usual methods don't mean a thing if you can just curse someone to death like that. Oh yeah, about Ikoma. Someone apparently spotted his company car stopped outside Yamashina's place today. So I had a warrant put out for him as a person of interest.
Oh, impressively quick thinking. Well done, Detective. By the way, there's a high chance that Yamashina was killed by a curse contained in one of those curse stones I just mentioned.
Oh man, I figured that might be the case.
If Ikoma did indeed stop by Yamashina's house today, he's looking increasingly suspect.
Yeah, looks like we should prioritize tracking him down. But it sounds like the guy was a favorite of Yamashina's, if anything. If he really is the culprit, what could have driven him to kill the man he owed so much to?
I can only assume they had some sort of falling out, perhaps over the matter of succession or the like. I assumed that Ikoma was the successor Yamashina mentioned, but it seems that wasn't the case.
Either way, I think we can definitely say he's up to something, especially if the solicitation of murder stuff is true. I'll step up the pace on the search for him. You two take care too, alright? I'll get in touch if there's anything else to share.
Please do.
I wonder if Akoma is like an 800-year immortal somehow. August 7th. Chuo Street.
From the sounds of things, we should make dealings with the Akoma our first priority. I wonder how Cersei and Avi fared in their search. I imagine they've made it back to the mainland by now, but we have yet to hear anything from them. Akoma might still have access to his curse, too. The situation is more dangerous than I'd thought. We should probably get back to the mainland as soon as possible. About that, seems that the last ferry off the island has already left for today. Oh, darn it! That means we're stuck here as well. Well, we'll have to stay on Kamishina for tonight. Yes, I'll arrange somewhere to stay. Nothing to be done about it, I suppose. Thank you, Soto. It won't be long before the sun sets. And yet I can't help but feel like there's another storm brewing on the horizon.
Man, things are getting tricky. Oh, we got a thing here we gotta unlock with some other stuff. Okay. Still don't know what different we can do in these two things. I really have no idea. Hopefully I don't have to look it up. I want to figure it out. Alright, fabrication. Back to Avi. What's up with Avi and Cersei? Despite being tasked by Yumiko to search for Ikoma, Avi, who has fulfilled the goal of his trip, and Cersei, feeling better with the curse of the raging waves cleared, choose not to return to the mainland straight away and have fun sightseeing in Kamishina. Or Kamishima. So they stay the night on Kamishima? Ikoma must be here then. He must have been the one that killed Bakamura then, right? Oh dear. You were doing so much better after the curse got lifted, I didn't notice the time. Got so carried away with sightseeing, it's already pitch black out here.
You're right. Time sure flies. The last ferry already left, so I guess we'll have to find a place to stay for the night.
Shouldn't we be heading back to the mainland to go after Ikoma?
Well, there's only so much we can do now. It's not as though we're being paid for it, so let's not lose sleep over it.
I see. Very pragmatic of you. Any bird stickers around? Oh. Shadowy figure, dude. It's Ikoma, dude. He's here. Well, we found him. I still want to look for bird stickers. Let's look at the surroundings first. Although it's not that late yet, it feels dark quickly after the sun sets, or it gets dark quickly after the sun sets, and the streets empty out just as fast. Illuminated only by the dim glow of a few streetlights and the stars, the island feels calm. Cersei, don't look now. He's right behind you. Anything else to look at? Doesn't look like it. Earlier, Cersei diligently guided us while sightseeing around Kamishima. Most importantly, she seems to be enjoying herself. It must be a relief to not have to deal with a curse aura hanging over the island anymore. We seriously lost track of time, though.
We need to find a place to stay.
Did you spot any inns or hotels around the island?
I think I saw a few. It'd be nice to find one before dinner. Maybe we can get a recommendation from one of the locals.
That might be difficult. After all, we didn't really manage to get acquainted with anyone on the island.
And hopefully that'll teach you a lesson about how to approach people.
Ah, right. That may have been on me. I can still make an observation. Okay. Let's think. By getting our hands on the Tommy Tobacco, I say the main objective of this trip has been accomplished. No need to stress ourselves any further. It really has grown quite dark anyway. We should find a place to sleep.
Need to find a place to stay.
Shadowy figure. Whoa, there's someone there. Well, I thought I recognized that voice. So it's you, Mr. Barnum. Mr. Ikoma. You need to keep our guard up around Akoma. If he tries anything, I'm counting on you, Cersei. What? How did Akoma get to Kamishima Island? Wasn't he afraid of the ocean? He lied about everything. That bastard.
I'll leave the talking to you.
Huh? Weren't you the one to put in charge of the search?
I'm counting on you. Get the info we need.
Ah, okay. Leave it to me. I get the shivers just looking at this guy. What a creep. When did you get to Kamishima? Did I surprise you? I arrived on a chartered boat just before sunset. Now, wait just a moment. Didn't you say you had a fear of the sea and that boats were a no-go? You gotta keep your character traits straight, else the proofreaders will tear you apart, you know? Well, as it happens, my condition was miraculously cured earlier today, so I was able to come here after all. So lifting the curse let him come here? Is that what he's basically getting at? Miraculously cured, is it? Oh, come on. If you're going to just throw in convenient plot devices like that, it's a total disservice to the art. Whatever, I have more important things to ask you. A whole lot of things, as a matter of fact. Sure, what is it? Talk about the bronze mirror, about Azusa Sumikawa, it's about Kikuko Susui, talk about the business card. Man, that's a lot of interesting things to talk to him about. Where do we start? I think Sumikawa makes sense to me. That's the Ama diver that we had hired. Well, did he? Yeah, he knew her. Yeah, because it was she's the descendant that he would talk about knowing. So maybe we'll start there. Yeah, Azusa Sumikawa. So, about Azusa Sumikawa, the descendant of Taishima. Oh? I don't remember telling you her name. Ha! That is no obstacle to a man of my caliber. We figured it out in no time. Did you now? Very impressive. I suppose I ought to apologize on her behalf. She is rather difficult to deal with, is she not? So did you manage to get a hold of the Tomotabako then? Come again? From what I understand, she was last seen going out to sea on a boat with a foreigner. And she has evidently been missing ever since. Forgive me. It seems that my hesitation to introduce you to her has caused you some inconvenience. No, really. Don't worry about it.
So you were after the Tomotabako too, Mr. Akoma? How come you're so calm when you already know what happened?
Believe me, there were times when I wasn't, but at this point, things like that no longer matter to me. Things like what? The Tomotabako. In fact, it seems as though I no longer have any use for it. I admit there's been some tension between us, but what do you say? Why don't we put that behind us? Dude, creepy. What's all this now? Pretending he doesn't care about the Tomotabako? What's he up to? Damn, he's already throwing me off my game. Supposed to be cornering him. Keep talking about her. Whatever became of Miss Omikawa is no longer of any concern to me. In hindsight, I suppose I should have introduced you much sooner. You might be misunderstanding. Okay. Talk about the bronze mirror. Why did you ask us to come to Kamishima in search of the still-tide mirror? Well, it's simple enough. If something like the curse of the raging waves truly existed in these waters, surely it would be best to see it lifted, no? And it seems that it was in fact has been dispelled. You did not disappoint, Mr. Barnum. Oh, well, it's not like we actually did anything to lift it, though. Is that so? We did learn that the bronze mirror once belonged to Princess Hatsune, who was sacrificed to appease the curse. However, I think I said that as if he was going to continue, my bad.
Mr. Ikoma, how did you know the curse of the raging waves has been lifted?
Well, to be honest, it's hard to put into words. But it seems as though I've got a little bit of spirit sense myself. I suppose the curse must have been what caused the ominous aura to surround this island before, no? I see. I suppose someone with a bit of spirit sense would be able to tell whether the curse was still around with ease. In any case, since the curse has been dispelled, the matter of the bronze mirror is also settled. You have my thanks. Suppose you're right. You're welcome. Now that the curse of the raging waves has been lifted, there should be no more need for the bronze mirror, right? Also, since I handed over the curse stone, so I deserve at least some credit. That's me being humble. That's him being humble, dude. Should I go with Kikuko or the business card first? Maybe the business card first. Then what about the business card you gave me? It was a target of the curse. Care to explain? Excuse me? Afraid I don't quite follow.
The symbol on your business card turned out to be the marker of the curse.
Dear me, this is the first time I've heard of such a thing. Oh, so you didn't know? Of course not. That emblem is a treasured symbol that Inkaiku Dono bestowed upon me when my company was founded. Inkaiku Dono, or Unkaku Dono. You mean Yamashina? So then you really had no idea. You said it was used as a curse marker. That's a serious accusation. Well, you're implying that Unkaku Dono was behind such a scheme. That's outrageous. But you have to admit, it's hard not to come to that conclusion. These groundless accusations are deeply insulting and absolutely infuriating. I will not tolerate such insolence from anyone. I honestly expected more from you. All right, calm down. Sorry. I'll look into it some more, okay? Very well. The very least you could do. The sheer audacity. I mean, it seems like he's almost too offended. Huh? So the symbol on the business card wasn't designed by Ikoma? And was it Yamashina's doing? I'm so lost. Talk about Kikuko then. So let me get straight to the point. You know a woman named Kikuko Tsusui, don't you?
Yeah, he just came right out and said it.
Kikuko Tsusui. Ah, yes, the young woman from Kameshima that used to work at my company. Was that her name? You used that girl as a pawn in your schemes, didn't you? We nearly died because of her, you know. I beg your pardon? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know anything about that. I most certainly did not put her up to anything so heinous. No. So you're saying you did not give her a curse stone, then? To help her get recognized by Yamashina, since she was his illegitimate child, or something like that. A curse stone? Unkaku Dono's illegitimate child? What on earth are you on about? You really have no idea? Don't try to pull a quick one. Who filled your heads with such nonsense? As a matter of fact, we heard it straight from Kikuko Tsutsui herself. She told you all that? Where is she now? I demand to know what compelled her to come up with such a ridiculous story.
We've got her confined at her home, but I'm afraid she won't be able to talk for a while.
Ah, I see. Anyway, whatever she told you, that girl is delusional. What a troublesome fantasy she crafted. Indeed. Dude, I do not trust this guy. Suppose we only have Kikuko's word for it, but she seemed lucid enough. Wonder. Damn, I have no idea what to believe anymore. So who did she get that curse stone from, then? I'm afraid I know more than you do. Business card. Insulting a man's business card and benefactor, how utterly disgraceful. I insist that you take it all back. I am truly deeply sorry, just overwhelmingly apologetic from the bottom of my sorry heart. Okay. Let's talk about reason for coming. So why did you come all the way out here to Kamishima? Ah, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. More than anything else, I would like to take care of my business right away.
And what may that be?
I actually wanted to ask you about it. I believe there is a woman by the name of Sato living on the island. You wouldn't happen to know her whereabouts, would you? Sato? Oh, right. I think I met a woman with that name earlier today, but I have no idea where she might be now. I see. So you're not familiar with her. Very well. Thank you so much. My apologies for keeping you. As I need to continue my search, I'll take my leave now.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You sure about letting him go? Wouldn't it be better to restrain him?
Well, there wasn't enough evidence to do so.
Do you think he's actually innocent and Yamashina was the one pulling the strings the whole time?
I don't think we know enough to judge. Well, it's not like we can get off the island that easily, so maybe we should just report what we saw him.
Good point. You mentioned the chartered boat, and we can mark it to keep an eye on it. Turns out staying another night on Kamishima was the right call after all. Got to hand it to myself. I'm just a genius.
Anyway, let's go to report this to Mishiki and call it a day.
Interesting. I don't know. I think he's lying, dude. I think he's a big fat liar. Intentions. Kippei Ikoma is the prime suspect behind Yamashina's death. Having asked Cersei and the others to search for him, Yumiko hears what they have to tell her.
I see. So we can be certain that Kippei Ikoma is on Kamishima right now. Yep, no doubt about it.
From what I gathered from the islanders just now, there are signs that someone landed on a boat in the Gulf on the other side of the island. That must have been Ikoma.
So he's come like a moth to a flame.
Ma'am, that sounded a bit diabolical. I think the fatigue is starting to get to you. Huh. Yeah, that's weird. That was a suspicious thing to say. What's runnings?
The darkened townscape stretches out before us, silent and still. I had thought lifting the curse of the raging waves would see it return to the peaceful fishing town it was previously. But it seems the shadow looming over Kamishima won't be dispelled until we deal with whatever's lurking out there in the darkness.
Bird stickers.
Despite the strength of her abilities, Cersei's still a child. I'm worried about keeping her up so late. But apparently exorcists do most of their work at night, so she actually starts feeling more energetic around this time. Is it just me, or is this industry something of a bad influence?
Turn my visibility on. See if we see anything. Cool if we caught something. Nope.
Avi has ended up being quite the key figure in all this, although I doubt that was his intention at all. Those driven by their dreams rather than profit do have a tendency to drag in everyone else with them in their wake, for better or for worse. I suppose that is a bit rich coming from me, though. I have worked with Soda for a long time now, but I don't think I've ever seen him sleep unguarded in front of others. He's used to sleeping outside, too. I wonder what his day-to-day life is normally like. When did you find the time to go around getting information from the Islander, Soto?
Ah, yes, I took advantage of our rest break earlier to make a few inquiries.
I appreciate the hard work, but shouldn't you have taken the time to rest? Stopping to take a breather every now and then is important too.
I'm afraid that's a bit difficult in this line of work. A single moment of complacency could prove fatal.
Sometimes I really do wonder if we live in the same world. Since when was society so violent? Just make sure to rest when you can, alright? Don't push yourself too hard.
No need to worry. I'll be sure to get enough rest. Thank you for your concern. Okay, just wouldn't check marked yet.
Why would Ikoma have come all the way to Kamishima? There's a good chance he was responsible for Yamashina's murder, too. We'll have to tread carefully. There really has been one thing after another with this case. I'm getting pretty worn out. I was sure you and Avi would have returned to the mainland by now. I had no idea you were still on Kamishima. Ah, well, we were having so much fun sightseeing. Time just got away from us. You were sightseeing the whole time? I suppose it worked out for the best, so I can't complain.
Say anything?
Still, from what you've said about him, your description of Ikoma is quite different from what I've heard of the man on our end.
We couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe our ears either, to think Yamashina had already been killed by a curse. And the police are searching for Ikoma as a suspect in his murder. Talk about a bombshell.
Yeah, it was a real surprise. And you say that Ikoma seemed to have no idea about either the curse stones or what Kikuko Tsusui was planning.
That's right. So the accusations against him were absurd, all the while looking innocent as a lamb.
It's entirely possible he's just feigning innocence. I couldn't believe him so easily myself.
We have no proof of his crimes after all. All he has to do is pretend he knows nothing and our hands are tied. Still, there's a warrant out for his arrest now, no? Can't you throw the book at him here and be done with it? It would be dangerous to do anything rash. I'd like to at least get a better idea of his intentions before making a move.
Still, with Soto and Cersei here, I don't think we should have anything to fear from paranormal phenomena. If worse comes to worse, surely the two could restrain him by force? Well, we probably could deal with most things.
But in the event we couldn't, the situation would likely end up being completely hopeless.
Right. I don't even want to imagine that sort of situation that would be.
I think she already thought that. Let's see, talk to Cersei again.
By the way, is it true Mr. Ikoma can use curses without the curse stone? Based on what we've heard of the scene of Mr. Yamashina's murder, I think we have to conclude that he can. So it is possible. What does your assistant over there think? Oh, good idea. Let's see what Soto has to say. Soto, how likely is it that Ikoma could use that curse without a spirit stone?
Ah, yes, about that. There have indeed been cases of powerful psychics using the spirits of the dead to cast curses on others. However, doing so requires a great deal of skill. Only a handful of people would be capable of such a feat. And even fewer would be able to do so with a curse capable of killing people in a single blow, let alone over a distance. The man did say he had a bit of a spirit sense. I suppose that wouldn't be enough, that wouldn't be enough, though. Not at all.
My thoughts exactly. I see.
Though, if I were to speculate... Oh, so there's something? Curses are not always born from the spirits of the dead, you see. If a number of people were to harbor a strong grudge for decades, even centuries, that grudge itself could become a curse. I see, I see. The supernatural equivalent of strength in numbers, huh? You could say that. Still, it would take a large number of people holding a grudge over an extremely long period of time to achieve. Suppose it's a bit unlikely Ikoma would have access to a curse like that. This would be why curse stones are so dangerous. Access to one allows even amateurs to use highly potent curses. You heard that just now, I hope? Yes, I'm sorry already. It's because he used the curse, I guess.
So the work you wanted us to handle is all done now, right? Yes, it is. Thank you for your cooperation. But I'd appreciate if you could help us a bit more, so I wouldn't be letting you go just yet. Aww. Did you see where Ikoma headed after you parted ways with him?
Sorry, I don't really remember. But if he chartered a boat to get here and stopped it in the Gulf, wouldn't we be able to nab him eventually if we hung around there? Unfortunately, I don't think it'd be so simple if he stopped it somewhere. Damn it. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Guess I need some more coffee or something. I don't think it would be so simple. If he stopped it somewhere out of the way, we would struggle to find it in this darkness. That's true.
Well, if he really gets stuck, I should be able to find out where he is using dowsing. Just let me know, and I'll give it a shot.
I thought your targets had to have some sort of spiritual energy for you to find it.
That's right. But he said himself he had some spirit sense, and he has a pretty unique aura, too. I think it would work. That would be a huge help. We'll keep that in mind. Still, something doesn't sit quite right with me about all this. Ikoma must have known it would be harder to escape pursuit here. What could have brought him here despite that risk?
Oh, I can shine some light on that, actually. Yeah, because he's here to see Sato. I think he's the one that was on the phone for sure. I believe he said he was looking for a girl called Sato. Seemed awfully keen on finding her, too.
Sato? You don't mean Sato Shiranami?
Oh? You know her then?
We do. A girl with quite unique circumstances, to be sure.
Could that be why Ikoma is looking for her? But what is he planning? Unique circumstances, eh?
So chances are high Ikoma is still looking for Sato then.
If so, it would be in our best interest to find her first. If nothing else, it would put us in a good position to bargain with him.
Agreed. We should try to...
Is something wrong?
You said that Ikoma arrived on this island before sundown, yes?
We did indeed.
If he's really that keen on finding her, surely it wouldn't take him that long to do so. Finding a single girl on a small island like this shouldn't be difficult. All he would have to do is ask around, no?
You have a point. I doubt he's been wandering in circles all this time.
Maybe he isn't looking for her that seriously after all. Or he had some other business he wanted to take care of first. You there, I finally found you.
Oh no, Shotaro, my bad, the red name. You there, I finally found you.
And who do we have here?
If I'm not mistaken, that would be Mr. Wakamura's son, Shotaro. You're from the police, right? You've got to help me. My old man, he's...
Mr. Wakamura? Has something happened to him? What? Mr. Wakamura was found cut down in his own home.
So you're not saying... The clinic's doctor's taking a look now, but I saw the wound. There's no way he could have survived that. I tried to call the police, but Yuzu Minakuchi told me to come and get you instead.
I see. Thank you for letting us know. We'll be there right away.
Ma'am, given the timing, can we assume this is Ikoma's handiwork?
Chances are high, yes. If you don't mind me asking, mister, did a man called Ikoma drop by your house at all?
What? Ikoma? You're saying he's the one who killed my old man?
Calm down. You know him then. He's in his 20s, and he's wearing a suit, though he looks really old for his age.
Yes, that's him. I met him earlier today.
You've met him? When?
Today, just before the sunset, a man I'd never seen before came up to me. He said he was headed to an event company, he's the head of an event company and had come here to gather information or something. I'm pretty sure the name on the business card was Ikoma.
What? He gave you his business card?
Yeah, what about it?
And he said he was here to gather information. What happened to looking for Sato Shiranami?
Wait, Sato? You're saying Sato has something to do with that guy?
All right, everyone. I'm going to head to the Wakamoto house with Shotaro here. Soto, I'll leave searching for Sato Shiranami to you, Cersei, and Avi. Find her before Ikoma does and take her into custody. I'm counting on you.
Understood.
Wait, we have to help out too?
Please do. The more people we have on hand, the better.
Now, Shotaro, lead the way.
Right. Huh? Wait, over there. Oh, there he is. Oh, God. Ah, that's him, Ikoma.
What? What's Ikoma doing here? It seems he hasn't noticed us yet. Should we make our move now, or should we let him go for now and get the better idea of what he's up to? No, first things first. I have to see whether my suspicions are correct.
Oh, he's an immortal.
His aura, I knew it!
Ma'am, is he?
There's no doubt about it. He's an 800-year immortal. He noticed us! He's running away.
Ma'am, should I give chase?
Please do, follow him, and find out where he's headed.
On it.
Don't be reckless, keep your guard up and be careful. It looks like we have a chance to change... Wait, it looks like we have a change of plan. Cersei, Avi, you're coming with me, let's go.
Avi's like, oh, what the hell, man? Dude, crazy stuff happening. Okay, Sato. Real name. Oh, real name. Real name is Osato. Sato hides in the Kante Kisho ruins at night, where she finally comes face to face with someone. Oh, God.
Who might you be?
Oh, God, it's Goma, dude. Sure was a hassle to get you out here. Looks like I made it just in time.
Huh?
You aren't an easy one to find, you know, but at last we finally get to meet again, my dear Osato.
Can you please answer my question? Who are you?
Are you being serious? This isn't one of your usual silly acts? Come on now, really? You forgot me after what? Just 400 years? That stings, you know.
400 years? Okay, so I know this guy claims to be Kipa Ikoma, who is apparently another 800-year immortal. That's not the real issue. I need to know who he really is, not who he claims to be. I don't think he's about to just come out and tell me. Looks like he enjoys being cryptic. Though I didn't expect him to just say he knew me 400 years ago. That's a huge clue. Who exactly was he 400 years ago? If I push a little, maybe I can draw it out. But man, did I really come across as that spaced out even back then? Oof. So you're saying that you know me from 400 years ago?
Well, we never met directly then. I can hardly believe it.
He's getting closer.
Who would have thought my dear Osato was Princess Hatsune all along?
How do you know I used to be called Hatsune?
Back then, 400 years ago, I never realized it was you. So sorry about that.
Huh? You knew about me?
And the story goes that Princess Hatsune was offered up to hold down the curse of the raging waves, sleeping for ages down there, Who knew immortality could be put into such a creative use?
Truly selfless. Admirable stuff. Brings a tear to my eye. Not really. There wasn't any other choice. And I wasn't actually asleep, so it was pretty awful. Also, could you please answer my question instead of going off on your own tangent? Well, turns out the resentment I bore was heavier than that curse you were holding back. I just told you to stop. Wait a second, the resentment you bore? Thanks to that, ever since then, my time I got near Taishima waters, a raging storm would well up every time.
So he's the one that was on the boat then.
I tried countless times over these 400 years, but each and every time my ship went under, and had my fair share of trouble too, you know. But then, that would make you the Raging Waves curse bearer. Ah, right. Guess it ended up becoming quite a legend here in Kamishima, didn't I? There's only one person who could really be then. No, sounds like you finally remembered me. Although centuries have passed, would you be so kind as to address me once again? Come, call me by my real name once more. Right. The files from the past made it clear. Kibe Ikoma's true identity is...
Oh, god damn it. It's not like I had this shit memorized. It's probably not gonna be one of these. These are all currently living people. It's gonna be in one of those other stories or whatever. Probably gonna be in traditions and history. This guy, probably, right? Tomoshige? Is that what it is? What's his name? That's his full name? Is it Tomoshige? Yeah, it must be him. I'll just type in Tomoshige, I guess. Tomoshige. Try that. Huh? Tomoshige? I got it wrong, I guess.
Then, you're Tira no Tomoshige of the Tira clan from 800 years ago. Or, wait, am I wrong?
Ha! Didn't think you'd get it so quickly. You always did manage to surprise the hell out of me. Huh. I was gonna ease you into it step by step, let the truth sink in nice and slow.
Huh?
Nah, screw it. You nailed it. Bingo.
Sweet. Got it.
Glad you actually remembered, even if it took way too long. Welcome back, Osato Kusawa.
Wait, Kusawa?
You gonna bring her memories back?
Ah, that's right.
Okay, let's read it. Must be at the bottom. Oh, I guess this whole thing is the biography of him? And then the invasion of Taishima? Okay, well. I thought it was just updated, but I guess let's read the whole thing. It's going to be a little bit of a read, so buckle up. Let's see. Biography of Tomoshige. Tira no Tomoshige's early life. Tira no Tomoshige was born as the son of Tira no Kiramori's younger brother, Yorimori, in the latter half of the Heian period at the height of the Tira clan's power, although his father, Yorimori, was the only child born of the official wife of Tira no Tadamori, part of the main lineage of the Tira clan. He maintained a differential attitude towards Kiyomori, a stance that made Tomoshige regard him with contempt and fueled his ambition to one day stand at the head of the Tira clan. He also believed himself to be the rightful heir of Nukimaru, a famous sword that was his father and inherited. Wait, a famous sword that his father had inherited as a part of his birthright. Right. Okay. 2. Sato, the girl from Kusawa Village. At around the same time, Sato was living a simple life in Kusawa Village, the place of her birth. One day, she happened to encounter a visiting Onimoji and was offered a chance to work at the Bureau of Onimo in Kyoto. Sato readily accepted, having always felt out of place in the village due to her faint spirit sense, and left Kusawa to work in the Bureau of Onimo as a maidservant. At the end of a certain year, Tira no Kiramori's daughter, Noriko, gave birth to the imperial prince. Although Tomoshige visited a palace with his father to celebrate the birth, he soon grew bored with the proceedings and left, only to encounter Sato, who was attending to odd jobs nearby. Tomoshige was intrigued by Sato. He made no attempts to curry favor with him, or who made no attempts to curry favor with him, and whose thoughts he found difficult to read, and he frequently visited her from then on. Not yet having an official wife, it was not uncommon for Tomoshige to spend his time on dalliances with women, with Sato being the latest among them. However, as their interactions continued, he found himself becoming particularly drawn to her. He eventually had a pair of bronze hand mirrors made and gifted one to her. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. I accidentally right-clicked. My hand just got a little heavy. Gifted one to her, telling her to carry it with her at all times as a sign of their vow to each other. 3. The fall of the Tira clan. In 1185, the Tira clan was defeated by at the Battle of Dan no Ura, spelling its ruin. Tomoshige, who had fled from place to place as if to desperately avert his eyes from the Tira clan's decline, ultimately did not participate in the decisive battle at Dan no Ura, and came to know of the Tira clan's downfall while he was lying low in a remote village in Ise with Sato. Although initially terrified of being hunted down by soldiers of the Minamoto clan, Tomoshige regained his senses upon seeing Sato's unbroken composure, now believing that it lay with him to restore the Tira clan as one of its sole survivors. He swore an oath to his fallen clan that he would see it rise again one day. 4. Tomoshige's resolve. With survivors of the Tira clan being hunted down across the country, Tomoshige continued to search for a way to turn the situation to his advantage. In the process, he suddenly remembered a box that his grandfather Tadamori had left the family, a tametabako proffered by the fishermen that was used to contain the flesh of a mermaid. Or that was said to, I think I said used. Although Tadamori had refused to accept it, a member of the clan had secretly hidden it in a storehouse back in their homeland. It was said that eating mermaid flesh would grant eternal life to whoever ate it. However, legend also had it that the meat was highly poisonous, with even a small bite being fatal. No one had wanted to eat it as a result, and it had ended up forgotten as the years went by. Believing that dying due to poison would hardly be any different from their fate if they were caught and killed, Tomoshige located the tametabako and pried open the lid. However, all that was inside was a dried sliver of meat, so shriveled as to resemble a splint of wood. Dubious, Tomoshige pushed his misgivings aside and ate the meat, but felt no different than before. Believing that long years had robbed the meat of its power and seeing the tametabako as his only clue to find a mermaid, he boarded a small boat with Sato to set out to sea. Encounter with a mermaid. Believing that a mermaid would surely come to reclaim the tametabako if it was truly linked to them in some way, Tomoshige continued to row the small boat into the sea of Ise. At the time,
He was clad from head to toe in armor of a warrior, and had with him the famed sword Nukemaru, an heirloom he had seized from his father, Yorimori, whom he had scorned as a disgrace to their clan. Sato, meanwhile, wore only a light kimono. After they had rowed for a while, a sudden mist descended over the sea around them, obscuring their surroundings. As Tomoshige and Sato looked around fearfully, they heard a small splash. Turning to look, the two gasped as they saw what appeared to be a human hand reach up from the water before grabbing onto the boat's edge. In a rush of water, a being with human features from the waist up and fish-like features from the waist down emerged from the sea, a mermaid. Climbing into the boat, the mermaid screamed for them to give back the box before suddenly lunging at them. Too stunned to think clearly, Tomoshige drew his sword and slashed at the mermaid. There was a dull sound of a blade slicing through flesh, and the mermaid let out a piercing cry before diving back into the water and fleeing the area. Still trying to process the sudden turn of events, Tomoshige glanced down and caught sight of a small piece of the mermaid's tail, apparently severed by his previous blow, lying in a pool of blood. He picked it up, only to find that it continued to twitch even as he held it. Finding himself too disgusted to try eating it immediately, he decided to stow it in the Tame Tobacco for the present. Eventually, after some hesitation, he forced Sato to eat it despite her protests. They waited a while, but no change seemed to come over her. Tomoshige's death. Thinking that the amount of mermaid flesh simply hadn't been enough, Tomoshige made to pursue the mermaid. But as he did so, he noticed the mist around them had cleared. As the two looked around, they realized their small boat was surrounded by ships belonging to a band hunting down remnants of the Tira clan. Alarmed, they tried to flee, but with their attacks pressing in on them from all sides, were unable to find any means of escape. Amidst the chaos, Sato was struck in the head by an arrow and fell into the sea. Tomoshige, still determined to retaliate, continued to frantically resist with his sword. However, he was vastly outnumbered, and unable to break through his attacker's ranks, was ultimately cut down in a single stroke. On the brink of death, Tomoshige's gaze fell on the crests worn by the pursuers. Consumed by bitter regret at his failure to restore his clan, he directed the full brunt of his resentment towards these symbols as he sank beneath the waves, cursing his enemies and clinging to his vindictive hatred until the very end. Aftermath. After that, there were none who saw Tomoshige again, and he faded from memory without ever leaving his mark on the pages of history. At around the same time, Kusama village found itself in an uproar following the return of Sato, who had been employed in the service of the Heike. However, after it was discovered that she had somehow become immortal, she was shunned by the other villagers, who found her newfound state unsettling. And she soon left the village for parts unknown. A fragmented version of these events would go on to be passed down orally, eventually becoming one of the Yaobikuni legends told to this day, which we read about, because she became like a nun or something in the story. But the story went that someone tricked her to eating the mermaid flesh from that original town, and then there's like a bunch of versions of this story, I think. All right, let's see. The other one is the Invasion of Taishima. Another long one. I think it really just updated the bottom, but I think it's kind of nice to remind ourselves of all of it. So let's just go ahead and read through it all. Around 400 years ago, during the Sengoku period, Oda Nobunaga was assassinated at Honnoji Temple. Kuki Yoshitaka, commander of the Yuki Navy, had steadily been gaining influence within the clan, but he now found himself at a crossroads in an era still racked by the turmoil of war. It was then that a vassal of the Kuki clan, Komatsu Sadamune, approached him with some intriguing information. According to Sadamune, 3 mermaids were said to be living on Taishima under the protection of some of the island's residents, even though the island was originally thought to be uninhabited. It was widely known through folklore that eating the flesh of a mermaid granted one immortality and eternal youth. Sadamune urged Yoshitaka to take advantage of this, suggesting that if he possessed such power, an invincible army would be at his command. Seeing this as an opportunity he had been waiting for, Yoshitaka ordered Sadamune to capture the mermaids and bring them back to him. However, Kuki Sumitaka, Yoshitaka's nephew and head of the clan at the time, strongly opposed his approaching Taishima. It was, in fact, Sumitaka who had secretly been protecting the mermaids on Taishima, believing the mermaids to be messengers of the gods and the island a sacred sanctuary. He had worked to keep them isolated from outside influence. His adopted daughter, Princess Hatsune, was also living in hiding on Taishima at the time for other reasons, which further strengthened his opposition to Yoshitaka's plan. However, it was not long before Komatsu Sudamune learned of this. He reported to Yoshitaka that Sumitaka was not only planning to keep the mermaids for himself, but also was secretly moving to build an army of his own. That's a lie. Infuriated by what he perceived as an act of rebellion, Yoshitaka gave the order for Sadamune to prepare a military invasion on Taishima. Upon receiving the order, Komatsu Sadamune immediately set sail for Taishima at the head of a large army. Caught off guard by the unexpected attack, Sumitaka scrambled to send out his own forces in an attempt to resist, but was unable to prevent the enemy from landing. In the blink of an eye, the once peaceful and beautiful landscape of Taishima was transformed into a nightmare. The islanders, guardians of the sacred land, desperately fought back, but they stood no chance against seasoned soldiers hardened by years of battle on the front lines, and one after another they fell before the invaders. Sadamune ordered that even women and children be cut down without mercy, and soon the waters around Taishima ran red with blood. Sadamune's forces swept across the island, searching every inch for signs of the mermaids. They pressed their assault. Finally, they discovered a mermaid in hiding by the name of Hayase and captured her. Sadamune demanded that she make his troops immortal, but the mermaid staunchly refused. Even as Sadamune turned to torture, inflicting unspeakable pain with every refusal, the torture escalated until eventually even her supernatural nature was not enough to withstand the torment. On the brink of death, resigned to her fate, Hayase gave a final terrible cry, overflowing with resentment and anger as she breathed her last. Sadamune ordered his men to take the flesh from her body, but as they moved to do so, a strange phenomenon began to occur. All the soldiers who approached her body began to transform into fish, their bodies decaying rapidly as the transformation took hold. Hayase had cast a curse upon them with her dying breath. With the one mermaid Sadamune had captured dead and his forces decimated, he began a mad search of the island in pursuit of the remaining 2 mermaids. Eventually, he found a deep cave in the interior of the island that extended far beneath the earth, reaching down to the sea floor. In the deepest part of the cave was a shrine, and a door with a powerful seal over it that he couldn't open no matter how hard he tried. Convinced this had to be the entrance to the sacred land, the home of the mermaids, Sadamune gathered all his remaining gunpowder and artillery and unleashed it on the door, destroying both it and the shrine in the process. The next moment, a violent tremor wrecked the entire island, and the skies above were engulfed by a storm. The repercussions of his desecration of the sacred land and the resentment of the islanders he had senselessly slaughtered blended together, unleashing an all-consuming calamity that seemed to shake the very heavens and earth. Ravaged by fierce earthquakes and vicious storms, Taishima sank beneath the waves, as if nature itself sought to protect the sacred land by erasing all traces of its existence. Thus were Taishima and the sacred land, along with Sadamune and his army, lost to the sea in an instant. The only survivors of this tragedy were 2 mermaids and 2 islanders that had successfully made their escape from the island. Hayase had, in fact, stayed behind as bait to allow the others to escape. The 2 surviving islanders were Princess Hatsune and a man named Somikawa, who had been assigned the duty of protecting a relic important to the mermaids. However, the tale did not end with the sinking of Taishima. Sumitaka eventually made it to the seas near the island, but a fierce anger and resentment darkened the waters around it, and the curse born from these dark emotions, the curse of the raging waves, had given rise to a storm that continued to rage even several days after the incident. Furthermore, the curse born from Hayase's final moments, the curse of the forsaken fish, also continued to exert its influence on the area, causing anyone who entered the storm's domain to transform into a fish. The situation had grown beyond anyone's ability to control. Sumitaka looked for a solution, turned to Tsuchimikado Hadukage, a renowned onimoji and friend of Princess Hatsune. After conducting an investigation, Harukage and concluded that the source of the curse was the sacred land, now sunk beneath the waves. Although the curse was too powerful to dispel, it would be possible to seal the sacred land by offering up a sacrifice, thereby suppressing the calamitous effects. The seal would last for 400 years, by which time he anticipated the curse of the raging waves would dissipate. Hearing this, Princess Hasune volunteered to sacrifice herself in the hopes that it would bring peace to the souls of the islanders who had looked after her during the time on Taishima. With her noble sacrifice, the storm at last died down, and peace was restored to the seas around the island. A bronze mirror in Princess Hatsune's possession at the time was imbued with power to serve as a talisman to calm raging waves, and was passed from person to person over the years, eventually making its way to Kamishima. Tsuchimikado Harukage was also able to seal the curse of the Forsaken Fish in the wooden accessory that Princess Hasune had been wearing, turning it into a curse stone. Harukage used the resentful memories contained within the curse stone to create a record of the event, which he sealed within a heavily locked iron box before concealing it in a rock on the seabed. In the event the curse of the raging waves had not abated even after 400 years, he made it so that the seal on the rock would be lifted and at the same time as the seal on the sacred land, so that the record of what had happened and the method of undoing the curse would make its way to future generations. Meanwhile, to protect the sacred land and the mermaids, Sumitaka ensured all records of Taishima were erased so no mention of the island or the disaster that had befallen it would make its way into historical accounts. He also concocted a tale in which Princess Hatsune had thrown herself down a well in defiance of a political marriage in order to conceal her sacrifice. Afterwards, Kuki Yoshitaka, infuriated not only by his failure to obtain immortality but also by the loss of his primary military force, murdered Sumitaka, who opposed him to the very end, and seized control of the Kuki clan in both name and nature. He had his vassals search the area around Taishima countless times after that, but it is said that they found neither the mermaids nor any trace of their existence. The fate of mermaids. After Harukage sealed the entrance to Ryugu, the two remaining mermaids, Nagami and Sobe, were left unable to return home. Nagami, spirited by nature and yearning to explore the seas around Ryugu, seized the opportunity to travel the world, a journey that would span the next 400 years. Enamored by the idea of a fairy tale romance, she was said to have been enthused at the thought of finding her own tale of eternal love as she left. However, the more serious Sobe was deeply affected by Hayase's sacrifice. Mourning her loss and filled with longing to return home to Ryugu, she spent her days hidden in the depths of Ise Bay, weeping bitterly. The fate of the surviving islander. Somikawa, the sole survivor of the Taishima Islanders, saw Sobe's tears and vowed to protect her, promising to do all he could to ensure her return to Ryugu one day. The treasure the mermaids entrusted to him, a tame tabako, has been passed down through the generations of the Somikawa family as proof of the oath being honored by his descendants 400 years later. The truth of Princess Hatsune. Having eaten the flesh of a mermaid and becoming an 800-year immortal, Sato spent years wandering across Japan. Eventually, with the help of the Onimoji Tsuchimikado Harukage, a descendant of one of her former benefactors, she made her way to Taishima, an island rumored to be home to mermaids, and began to live there quietly. The islanders, duty-bound to protect the mermaids and the entrance to Ryugu, were accepting of her and her circumstances, and Sato was finally able to gain a peaceful life she had been searching for, having changed her name many times during her years of wandering, as she was going by Hatsune at the time. After she had spent some time there, Kuki Sumitaka, under whose jurisdiction Taishima fell, grew fond of her and took her in as his adopted daughter. Initially unaware of her true identity, Sumitaka eventually discovered her immortality, but, even so, continued to treat her the same as he always had, and Sato came to trust him as well. Following the invasion of Taishima, Sato sacrificed herself in order to quell the curse of the raging waves, with Harukage's ritual causing her to fall into a deep sleep within the sacred land at the bottom of the sea. The seal on the sacred land was set to break 400 years later, which was in fact to awaken Sato from her slumber. The truth of Kamatsu Sadamune.
Komatsu Sadamune, the vassal who goaded Kuki Yoshitaka into invading Taishima, was in fact Tire no Tomoshige, who had eaten mermaid flesh and gained unnatural longevity. Ah, interesting. So this is Ikoma. He did this. Unable to let go of his dream reviving the Tira clan, even after 400 years, he caught wind of rumors of mermaids being worshipped on Taishima and infiltrated the Kuki navy under the name of Komatsu Sadamune, plotting to uncover the sacred land. However, his rash and impulsive destruction of the sacred land ended up triggering the curse of the raging waves, and his plan ultimately ended in failure. Although caught up in the sinking of Taishima, Tomoshige could not die and was swept away by the sea to an unknown fate. He never directly met Princess Hatsune, and as such, the two remained unaware of each other's existence. Interesting stuff. So now we know a little bit more about these two. Fresh in our minds.
I remember now. Everything's coming back to me. You're Lord Tomoshige.
I've waited long for this moment, Osato.
You're telling me you became an 800-year immortal as well? I can't believe it.
Indeed. I ate mermaid flesh to become an 800-year immortal just before you did.
Hey, Never, what's up? Welcome in, man. How's it going?
800 years ago, we sailed out searching for mermaids, trying to restore the Hike name to glory. We found one, sure enough, but those Genji bastards had laid an ambush. They attacked us, tore us apart. But seeing we had both become immortal, we both continued to live our separate lives.
I never knew. I thought I was the only one left. I spent all these years thinking I was the only one.
Living, how are you? Doing good, man. I'm glad you're living. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. We're getting pretty far in this game. Learning some interesting stuff about the lore, for sure. I actually really enjoyed this game. Actually, I think I like it better than the first one. I really liked the first one, but I think I like this one a lot better. The story is just much more involved and intricate.
You and me both, Osato. It truly is a miracle that we were able to meet like this once again. Listen, Osato. When I realized this body couldn't die, I decided it was my fate to use it in whatever way I could to restore the Hike clan. The grief, the hatred, the curses of my bloodline who died screaming in resentment, I've carried all of it with me in this body. They screamed at me, "You'll finish what we couldn't. That's why you're immortal, damn it." Their voices never stopped, centuries of the family's raging, clawing at my skull, every day, every night.
This one had those annoying quirks like turning sound off to bypass a curse. Yeah, this one has some weird stuff, but yeah, it hasn't had something like that yet, but there is some weird stuff. I haven't quite gotten to it yet, but I have found it, but I just don't know what it means for the story yet. But yeah, nothing like turning the sound off though. I forgot about that one. That's a good memory, dude.
Even so, nothing ever worked, but I knew I couldn't just give up. That obsession of mine rotted into resentment, festering for decades, centuries, building and twisting inside me. Until finally, centuries of resentment and rage congealed into a curse, something I could control, wield.
A curse born from that obsession.
The bronze mirror I carried absorbed that same resentment, and over time it transformed into a curse stone.
So interesting. So he like made a copy of his own curse, but then one's actually attached to him. Okay. So that's how he can use it without a curse stone. Interesting. If it's not a complete immortality, it would be hell for that guy. Well, we kind of want hell for this guy because he's the bad guy, but it's not complete. They're 800-year immortals, but it is a complete immortality in that they will always regenerate. And because like Sato is at the bottom of the sea and she just kept dying and regenerating, so for like 400 years she was just like in this cycle of constantly drowning and coming back to life and drowning and coming back to life. But yeah, it's like a curse for only 800 years that they are immortal though. So they're both actually like 2 days out from their curse ending too, so they're both about to die soon. We already know that from the story.
The bronze mirror I carried absorbed the same... Oh yeah, I already read that. Oof, that sounds horrible. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's funny because there's like people in the story who want this curse because they don't see it as a curse. They want to be immortal or whatever. But then like anybody who knows about it's like, no, dude, it's hell. You don't want that.
So your goal was to use the power of that curse and the flesh of a mermaid to restore the Hiki clan?
Indeed. That vow was all I had left. It was the one thing that kept me crawling through these 800 years of hell. I sucked up to people in power and gathered followers, all so I could build an immortal army. But it couldn't be out in the open. Everything had to be done in the shadows, always unseen. Even with immortality and curses on my side, it was damn near impossible. No matter what I tried, power was always out of my reach. The path of reclaiming the Hiki name was always filled with peril. It was always one fucking problem after the next. Nothing ever went my way I wanted. Damn it! Before I knew it, the world had changed into one where military power alone was no longer the key to control. I just don't have the power or the time to rule this goddamn new age. Fuck it all. Oh man, he's getting pissed. You know, the manga of immortal characters from Toho outliving everyone in the universe, and they had to do some time in space messing to restart the universe. Oh wow, that sounds pretty crazy. They would drift in space for hundreds of years at a time. Oh wow, that's gnarly. What was that one called? That sounds pretty interesting. And so, here we are. Before I knew it, my 800-year lifespan was burning out. The end was right there, staring me in the face. That's when something broke in me. All that was left was emptiness. 8 centuries and nothing to show for it, just the truth that I'd achieved nothing. Tell me, Osato, what the hell were those 800 years of me giving it everything I had worth? What was it all for?
I can't say.
When I realized my lifespan was finally coming to an end, I almost felt relieved. Like dying might actually finally set me free. It was then that I happened to hear of you. The immortal who saw the death of the universe. Oh, interesting. It's a pretty cool name, I'll say. Might have to look that one up. That you, my Osato Kusawa, were still alive on Kamishima, also as an 800-year immortal. That moment was the first light to pierce my darkness in 800 goddamn years.
Whoa, aren't you exaggerating a little?
Not at all. This is an 800-year-long miracle of fate. Osato, don't you see? Back then, when the Hiki fell, you were the only one who stayed with me. You were the only one who comforted me. When my final day comes, I want it to be with you. That's the only thing I want now. If I can just have that, then maybe this was all worth something after all. You understand, don't you? You must. But the curse kept me from ever setting foot on Kamishima. So I manipulated Ukaku Dono. I used him to reach you and claim you for myself.
Wait, hold on. This is getting a bit too much. What's so funny?
Oh, Sato, you're blushing. You truly are so lovable. No need to act shy now. 800 years ago, we were bound by a vow of love. I feel like, did Osato ever actually like this guy, or is it just like this is his point of view the whole time? It's only 3 chapters. I'll DM it to you. Oh yeah, for sure. That sounds good. Post in Discord. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Sounds very bite-sized. I like that.
What? We were? I don't remember that.
You kept the bronze mirror I gave you, did you not? That should be proof enough.
What? No, that's not what you think.
Come now. We certainly took that long way around, you and I. But we finally found our way back here. After everything, meeting again like this can only be a blessing of fate. This is what our curse of immortality was all for. Our final, glorious crossing into the next world together.
No. I mean, yeah, it is the end, but...
You've been waiting for it too, haven't you? The day this cursed life finally ends? Come, Osato. Let's meet that day together. Let's finally be free of all this endless pain. Okay, I can think.
I am Osato of Usawa. At the end of the Heian period, I worked as a maidservant for the Bureau of Onmyo. That's where I first met Tira no Tomoshige. By chance, he took a liking to me and made me a part of his household. After the fall of the Heike, the world spun into chaos. We were too busy surviving to think about anything else. I remember those days now. We ran from one hiding place to another, and I had no one to depend on but him. But those memories are so distant now. So distant it's hard to tell them apart from something I might have seen on a TV show last month.
Osato watches a lot of TV nowadays.
It really is him, Lord Tomoshige. I remember him now. He was always just like this. All pride and vanity, puffed up with his own importance. The very image of an arrogant Heike. No wonder he failed to so spectacularly. Anyone would, acting like that. And still, part of me can't help but feel sorry for him. And now that I think about it, the only reason I kept that bronze mirror after the attack was because it was the one thing I had left when I washed ashore. It was the only clue to who I was. I held on to it out of loneliness, that's all. It's a trace of a past I could barely remember. I'm afraid I never even had a shred of affection for Lord Tomoshige, even back then.
I knew it, dude. I knew it. He does not seem like a lovable guy. It would be weird if she liked him. Oh, I can look around. There's not much to see. Oh. Hey, thanks for the lurk, Never. Hey, thanks for the suggestion, man. Always good to see you, bud.
Well, why are you so silent? Say something. You know as well as I do that our lives are almost up. It could be over by tomorrow. What are you hesitating for?
I don't know how to tell you, but I don't like you, dude.
Hey, Sato, say something! I'm talking to you nicely and you just stand there like a fucking idiot? Wake up!
Jeez, dude.
All you need to do is be grateful and come to my side, that's it! Stop being so fucking pathetic!
But... What if I refuse?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, it's not like you can die. I mean, you're not going to die until your time's up. But it would be torture to be killed by him, I guess.
Refuse? After all these years? There is no refusal. You would dare defy me? That was never even a fucking option. Come with me, right now, if you dare try to say no again. I'll ensure you receive due punishment. I have harsher methods I can use.
Harsher methods?
I told you, I can use a curse, remember? A curse that targets a certain pattern and slices anyone with it clean through, nice and painful.
But even if you use that to hurt me, if I just hold on until tomorrow, your time will run out. You'll never get what you want.
Are you really that fucking dumb? Why would I use it on you? You're immortal.
Huh?
Oh, he's going to kill everybody else, I guess is what he's saying.
Before I came here, I handed out dozens of business cards with the target pattern to people on the island.
You wouldn't.
With just a flick of my wrist, these stupid islanders will be dead in an instant. You get what I'm trying to tell you, right?
You're holding the people here hostage?
Ha! You're just insecure. They're just insurance. A way to ensure you will come with me. In fact, that old man Wakamura was so stubborn about handing you over, I had to deal with him first.
What? You mean you killed him?
So, what will you do? You have two options, Osato. Time to choose. Obey and come with me quietly. Or let your selfishness condemn these innocent people to a brutal death, and come with me only after you watch them die.
No.
Dude, I'm going to refuse, dude. Fuck that. There's people already trying to come to help the situation, so hopefully
they can do something? I mean, they don't have his card and they know about his curse, so... I'm refusing, dude.
No, I still can't. I won't follow you. I refuse.
What? You selfish little brat. But very well. I'll make you regret that choice. Let's see how long that defiance of yours holds out. Stay strong, Sato! Oh god, it's the end of that part. And we got this. We need a plan. Oh man. So I guess I could have obeyed him, and that's the other option here. I guess I'll have to go do that again sometime. Alright, I think I need to call it a stream though. I am starving. I need to get some lunch. I haven't eaten since breakfast, dude. Yeah, it's almost been 4 hours. I got quite a bit done today. God, just the story's so good. I don't wanna stop. But I've got to for my own health. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna have to pick it up here next week. I'll be around next Sunday for more of this game if anybody wants to come join me. But yeah, until then, guys, stay safe and stay away from curse bearers, alright? Alright, you guys have a good one. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye! I'm gonna check out that manga there, Never, so thanks for that. See you guys. Bye-bye.